I checked this nationwide financial group, and I love it. I like it. It's a big company. Remember I mentioned this morning what happened last Thursday afternoon? The stock went down because of Britain got out from the Euro Union, right? We don't know whether it's good or bad, but it's good. I agree with you. Anyway, the only company that didn't went down, insurance company. Imagine that. So I kept saying it is a recession proof. You mean when you're in business, it's a recession proof. People are being born, they're dying, they need this thing. All we need to do is get your license and learn the system and then get started. The hardest about this business is getting started. Once you start something, right, it's just a repetition. It's just repetition. You just repeat it. Okay. This is a professional business. This is serious business. This is not a monkey business that we're buying vitamins, vacuum cleaner, shampoo, and everything like that. This is a professional. Okay. Remember, look at Mr. Jonas wearing a suit. Mimi and I'm wearing my. Yes, of course, our guest here is a fantastic, good-looking guy. Right?
He's married though, right?
Okay. Sorry about that. Anyway, without further ado, please help me welcome Mr. KNUDSON.
I'm excited to be here. And what I'm going to do for you today is really share some different ideas and products for Nationwide Strong, and where we can help the clients and help you. I'm going to do something. I've got some literature in these folders that I'm going to pass out, but I'm going to ask you not to open them.
Yeah, don't open.
Unless you're bored, then you can open them, and they'll let me know that I'm talking too long. But don't open those yet. I'll tell you when to open those. But yeah, please don't open them and look at everything, because it'll get distracting for everyone else. So I'm excited to be with this group. I'm excited to see, from the beginning how we're going to grow together. And the title of my presentation today, Working with Nationwide and Becoming Giants. This is a picture of redwoods, and I love the story of redwoods because I don't know if you know this or not, but redwood trees, they can't reach their full potential by themselves. Do you know why a redwood can't grow to its full potential by itself? Anybody want to guess?
Is that okay with you, Jesse?
That's great, that's fine, yeah, that's good.
Is that okay with you guys? You can sit that way?
Yeah.
Does anybody know why a redwood tree can't grow to its full height by itself?
Well, because there are roots.
Yeah, the wind will blow it over, okay? So what a redwood does is it grows its roots out, and it connects to all the other trees around it. And by connecting its roots with other trees around it, it grows to its full potential. So together, like the redwood trees, if we grow together, and we learn how to depend on each other and how to learn from each other, we can grow to our full potential. So I put that in there on purpose because it reminded me of Jonas and your all's group. I think it's exciting to see where you guys are starting and what you're going to become. Okay, this is my family. Wow. My wife and my two girls. And I got to bring them up from Sacramento, but I got to bring them out here to San Jose. So we stayed in the hotel and got to swim.
Wow. Two girls?
Yeah, two girls. So my family. But I wanted to share a story with you all. And the story is about how my wife and I started dating. So, and this is important information, and so there's a good lesson in this. So, when I was a younger man, it's been about 13 or 14 years ago, my wife and I were good friends, and I was trying to figure out how do I take this from the friend zone to the girlfriend zone, and how do I get this girl that I'm close with to be interested in me romantically. So I thought I would cook her a really nice dinner, right? Because what woman does not like to be cooked a nice meal? So I was just in college, and I had planned a great dinner, nice steak and asparagus and potatoes, much similar to this in my mind. And
Similar.
yeah, similar to my mind. The problem was I didn't prepare properly.
Oh!
So this is about what our dinner looked like. So the moral of the story is, luckily my wife was really gracious, so she still dated me anyways. Benjamin Franklin has a famous quote: "If you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail." And that night I definitely failed to prepare, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And in my mind I thought this is going to be a great thing, but I didn't lay the groundwork of learning and educating myself and knowing how to be a good cook. And so I ended up failing in an epic way. I think we didn't even eat that dinner. I think we actually went out to fast food or something. but this is what this is about, right? We want to learn. We want to educate ourselves, so we're in front of our clients to be confident with what we're sharing them and know that what we're sharing with them is the best thing for them. Okay, so I want to start today by talking about who Nationwide is, who we are as a company, and then talking a little bit about the support team that we have for you all. We're not going to really get into the nuts and bolts of how to work with Nationwide as far as submitting business or doing quotes, because the reality is if you need help with a case, you know, you can call Jonas, or you can call ourselves. We can help you with that stuff. I have this internal wholesaler who all he does is sit at the phone and answer the phone all day long. And we have a sales support of about 25 other individuals that if you can't get a hold of my internal wholesaler, you can call that team and somebody will answer the phone. You never have to feel like there's not someone there to help you. Our team can help you. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the details of submitting business. I figured that's something I can come back later on. I wanted to really just introduce you to who we are as a company and our products and get you excited about working with us. And then we'll dig deeper in later on. So I am going to spend some time on our products, our competitive life insurance products, and then our annuity product as well, and long-term care. We'll spend some time there too. So who's Nationwide? It's a little bit who we are as a company. We are a Fortune 100 company. We're A+ rated. We've been in the business for 89 years. We're the 4th largest provider of life insurance in the industry in the United States of America. We're the 2nd largest provider of guaranteed universal life, and we're the 3rd largest provider of IUL, indexed universal life in the industry. Currently, too, we have the most competitive product for income solving. So when you have a client that wants to fund their indexed universal life for the purpose of taking retirement income later in life, there's not another carrier that can match us on the income solve. So that's something to really think about if you have clients that are overfunding in their IUL. We also have, specifically in California too, the most flexible long-term care benefits in the industry as far as a long-term care rider goes. And I'm going to spend some time later today talking about the differences between a long-term care rider versus a chronic illness rider and the benefits of those products. And then also too, we currently have the #1 indexed annuity in the industry. So we're going to spend some time on that product because especially with what's going on with the market today, clients are looking for something they can feel safe in. And index annuities are a great solution for that. Now, I don't want you to feel like I'm just saying that everything we do is amazing, because I have a lot of products here where we're strong. There are other products where we're not as competitive. I just didn't want to waste your time with products today. So I'll tell you where we're strong, if that's fair. And I don't expect you to sell all of our products all the time, but where we are strong, I would hope that you give us a shot. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this. So this is kind of a cool slide. This just kind of gives you a big picture of who Nationwide is. Like I said before, we're number 85 on the Fortune 100. And then we're top 10 in a number of different product lines. I'll show you that in a minute. So we have 11,000 agencies across the country, and we have 35,000 advisors that sell our financial products in the country. 16 billion, this is the amount of money that we paid in claims in 2015. So we paid $16 billion in claims in 2015. This kind of gives you a sense of the scale of our industry, or our company, and what we're doing. Oh, this is a cool thing that I really like to see. $355 million was contributed to the Nationwide Foundation for Nonprofit Organizations. So, and that was in, I think that was since 2000 or something like that, but it's $355 million donated for charities. And that's something that I really value about our company. We care about giving back. These are all the different industries that we're #1 in. Small business, that's commercial insurance. Pet insurance, if you guys have dogs or cats, another leader in pet insurance. 457 plans, farm and ranch, and corporate life. So corporately owned life, we're the leader in that. And if we took the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th leading carriers and combined them all together, we would still beat them. That just shows you how much we own the corporate owned life insurance space. We're 8th largest auto insurer, 7th largest homeowners insurer, 2nd largest in commercial insurance on domestic specialty, and then with 9th largest annuity writer, and then 10th largest in 401k. So the reason I bring all of this up is because when you're looking for a company that's strong and financially sound, oh cool, thanks. When you're looking for a company that's financially sound, diversity plays a big part in financial strength. So when there's a lot of crisis going on in the financial world, we know the auto and home insurance doesn't change. And if there's a lot of storms and a lot of different issues going on that could cause auto claims or home claims, the financial markets don't get affected by that. So we have a lot of diversity in the products that we offer, which gives us a lot of unique advantage over most other financial companies, because most of them don't have this multi-line story where we're in so many different things all at once. So it's part of our competitive advantage. And then this just talks about our who we are as a company as far as the giving. You know, we care a lot about giving back to the community. We were rated in 2013 top 10 most generous companies in America. Kind of shows 16,000 units of blood, $50 million committed to Nationwide Children's Hospital. And then our associates, the people that work at Nationwide, in 2014 donated 93,000 hours of their time to give back to the communities that they live in. So I just share this because, one, it's important to me to work for a company that cares so much about the people that we're serving, but also, two, this is a part of our DNA as a company. It's important to know because the way we build our products is similar to the way that we give back to the community. We care about our customers, our members, and so we build products that are designed for their best interests. So that's why I bring that up. Okay, so support team, I'm going to ask you to open up your folder. And don't pull everything out. I'm just going to open it briefly. On the left-hand side, you're just going to see a one-pager right here on the front. You don't have to even pull it out. But this one-pager has my contact information in it. And then below that, if you want to circle Sohail Patel, you just circle his information, the second one down. Sohail Patel is my internal consultant. So he's on the phone all day, every day. If you need help with illustrations, if you need help with applications, if you have a question about a product, you can call him and he'll help you. Then we also have our pre-sale support directly below that. If you can't get a hold of Sohail or myself, you can call our sales support team. Like I said, we have about 25 people on the desk there that will answer your phone and answer any questions that you have. So I just want to make sure you have those resources available. And like this says, they can help you with illustrations, product questions, appointment support. I can help you with that here and there. And then the application questions, getting help with, if there's questions in the applications and whatnot. And then NFS is our website, so nfs.com. When you get appointed with us, you'll have access to that website, which will help you to get logged into the applications or run illustrations, get product information and whatnot. And let's see what else. Yeah, underwriting too. If you have questions about underwriting, you can call our sales desk for that too. So I'm always available, but to be honest, I'm in meetings like this a lot, so I can't always answer the phone. So for phone assistance, usually it's better to call Sohail or the sales desk. Okay, so I'm going to key in on just some basic products at a real high level here, and raise your hand or stop me if you have a question about it. The first product I want to cover is our simplified issue product. And so this is a guaranteed issue product, or also known as like a final expense policy. I've been with Nationwide for around 8 or 9 years. I never really realized how competitive this product was until I moved to California, and I started working with independent agents because the independent agents started telling me, hey, this product's actually pretty good. The pricing is very good, and it's really easy for our clients to get the coverage. So they actually like it a lot. It is a graded death benefit. So it means in the first 2 years, if the client were to pass away, they're going to get a return of the premium plus interest if it's a death of natural causes. So if they buy the policy in the first year, they die of a heart attack or something like that, or cancer, then they're only going to get their premium back plus interest. But that being said, because they do that, the medical questions are very insignificant, and the death benefit is very good for the amount of premium that they pay. So the only 2 medical questions they ask, have you been diagnosed in the last 12 months with a terminal illness? So is the doctor giving you less than a year to live? And do you have HIV and AIDS? If you can say no to those 2 questions, you're guaranteed to get the policy. So it's pretty straightforward and easy. You do the app, that's 1 page. You send it in, within about a few days, you get a policy. Up to age, I don't say age 80. 80? Yeah, up to age 80, down to age 0, so you can write it on children too. Yes, greatest benefit, that's right. Now we have a standard whole life product that, you ask a few more questions, and maybe they go through a little more underwriting CP. But as far as just simple and easy to write, that's what this product is built for. Yeah. Very simple. And the price, and if you compare this to other final expense policies, you should find this to be very competitive. Okay, that's as much time as I'm going to spend on that. Most of the rest of the time we're going to spend is on the protector and the accumulation IUL product. And then we'll spend some time on the indexed annuity. Thank you. Okay, so we have 2 indexed universal life products that you can use. with Nationwide. You have the accumulator, and the accumulator is designed for cash value growth. That's what it's built for. So for your clients who are going to overfund an IUL and they're looking for growth for future income, that's going to be our accumulator, and it's extremely competitive in the market. I'll tell you that right now. Nobody can beat us for the income. For the client that just wants a level pay policy, they don't want to pay extra in, they're just looking for the minimum pay option, and maybe they want to add long-term care, our protector is really what that's built for. And so that product is pretty competitive as well, and then it's very competitive when you add a long-term care rider on there as well, because they're going to get that long-term care benefit. But that's not designed for overfunding. The protector's just built for level pay scenarios, if that makes sense. Now there is an optional death benefit guarantee that goes on that one as well. So some people like to have that. This gives you some, this may be a little fuzzy, but I actually have it in here. You don't need to look at it, but you can look at it later. But this just gives us some competitive analysis of where Nationwide is with our competitors. So this is a protector. IUL is a $500,000 death benefit for a 50-year-old male. And what we're looking at here, Nationwide coming in at $4,325 a year. You have Hancock below, it's there, Protective, American General, Genworth, Voya, Minnesota, Transamerica, North American. So this is just the top 10 in that scenario. So it kind of shows you where Nationwide stands on that one. What separates our product apart from the other carriers? The big one is our 15% multiplier. So we have a few different indexed options out there. They could be based off of the S&P 500 is the main one we use, or our multi-index. Our multi-index is the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Dow. So of course with an index product you get downside protection, right? So you're never going to lose money in the down market. It's a big reason why you use that product. But the nice thing is on the upside, you have upside potential. So what the index interest multiplier does is after they calculate out what your earnings are, after the indexing is already done, they add 15% on top of that. So they take whatever earnings you received and then multiply by 15%. So if you were going to get 10% from the indexing strategy, you just went up to 11.5% that year. Yeah, and the cool thing is that multiplier goes above and beyond the cap. So if you have a product that has a 14% cap, or excuse me, a 13% cap, you're actually getting close to 15% with that multiplier there. So pretty cool, and it definitely separates apart from on the earnings side with that product. The other thing that the protector has is it has the IUL rewards program. So after the 21st year, they get a 25% discount on their cost of insurance within the product. So that makes that product more affordable compared to other products that don't have it. And then the other thing that we have there is that no lapse guarantee is optional. They don't have to get it. The product comes with a 20-year death benefit guarantee built in. But if they're not comfortable with 20 years and they want it to go to 90 or go to age 100 or 120, we can add that guarantee to it if they want it. And then this is just showing some the indexing options. We have annual point-and-point, S&P 500 that comes with a multiplier, and then we have the monthly average with the multi-index blend. Again, that's the NASDAQ Dow and the S&P on the multi-index. We can dig into this stuff on a deeper level later. If you want me to come back and really dig into products, we can do that. I just wanted to kind of share with you high level. So with this product, typically, the one thing I see the most is just basic family protection that the clients are looking for with this. They're either looking at long-term care planning or just basic family needs that they have. And again, they're looking at level pay scenarios typically. Okay, so we're going to dig into the accumulator. And here again, these are competitive pricing. This is for an income solve. So this is looking for the client that says, I want income later, so I'm going to put money into this so I can pull it out after it grows. And again, we have Nationwide at top, North Americans below us there, Minnesota Life, John Hancock, let's see here, Minnesota Life, Transamerica, Lincoln, Prudential. Those are the top 10 carriers for that specific solve. And this is for a 40-year-old non-tobacco preferred, putting in $10,000 a year until age 65 and then taking income. And then here's another one for a male age 50, non-tobacco preferred. This time they're putting $30,000 a year in premium to age 65. Since they're older, they're having to put more money in to get the same kind of income. So it kind of shows you where we're at here. Yeah, so same thing on this product. On this one, you still get the index multiplier, 15%, like we have on the other products. There's more options with it on this product. And then the rewards program for this one, after the 16th year, we give them an additional 0.2% rate of return on after the index. So on the indexing strategy, again, if they had 10% return, the multiplier would take it up to 11.5, and then we'd actually add 0.2% in, so you get 11.7, while every other carrier using the same indexing strategy would only get 10. So that's where we get a lot of our competitive advantage from. And then this just kind of shows us some of our different indexes that we're using for the point of the multiplier. We have the S&P 500 annual point to point. We also have the uncapped strategy, S&P 500 uncapped, which is kind of a cool index. And then on the monthly average, we use multi-index blends. Typically, I'm seeing us use S&P 500 and the multi-index, one of those two. So I'll show you one thing too, real quick. If you do want to open this up, I'll give you permission. If you flip on the left-hand side, just flip back one, you'll see a green little packet here. This is a tool that you can actually develop or build within our illustrations. And I would say you could probably just call our sales desk or Sohail Patel to run this for you. And what this does is it's just a nice piece that explains why you would use life insurance as a retirement vehicle. So it talks about the tax benefits. First of all, tax-deferred growth. So when your money is in the life insurance policy, it's growing every year without you having to pay taxes on it. And then the big benefit is tax-free income. If you set it up correctly, you can take your money out tax-free. And then it'll actually go through the case example. The second page here just kind of gives you the high level of it. And so it shows you the annual premium, the initial death benefit, and then the cash value of the income. But what I like to show a client is the third page here. And this just shows them the summary of the premiums we're paying in over the lifetime of the policy. And so $8,000 a year going in. And then the cool part is then on the second page. So one thing I'll point you out before we move on. It shows $8,000 a year. And then at the bottom it shows you the total premium paid in. So $240,000 paid in over the life of the policy here. That seems like a little bit of shell shock for some, right? But then you flip it over and you show them what their income opportunity is. On the income side, in this example, they get $68,000 in income a year, and the total income would be just over $1 million in income.
I don't have that.
You don't have this one? I'll give you this one. So that gives you just over $1 million of income. Remember, so $240,000 in, $1 million of income out, and they didn't have to pay any taxes on that growth. So this is a very cool story. And we can add this into the illustrations so you can have this to share with clients. So, any questions on that? In addition to that, behind that in the folder, I have our competitive intel on our index life products, so you can have that to take a look at as well. One thing I'll keep in mind when you're looking at comparing index universal life, last year AG 49 came out with the Department of Insurance regulation, and it really restricts how you quote index universal life. And it's a good thing because in some ways it helps us create more of a standard of how we illustrate life insurance. The challenge of it is they didn't do a very good job of the regulation. So it's better than nothing, but they probably could have done a better job. And if they would have asked their insurance companies, we probably would have been able to help them out. Interestingly, MetLife and New York Life were the two carriers they spent the most amount of time helping them build that regulation, and they only offer index universal life. But what do you say? So anyways, when you look at comparing index universal life different carriers, one thing I would recommend is always look at a 6% rate of return, because every carrier can quote 6% based off that regulation, and it creates an equal playing field when you're comparing the rates of return within those products. And then the other thing I would encourage you to take a look at is how are the loans structured? Are they using variable loans or are they using fixed loans? From our standpoint as Nationwide, we look at fixed loan strategy, which just means it's a wash. So when they go to take income, they're not getting any extra return, but it's not costing them any money to take that loan. Versus a lot of carriers that use variable loans, where they have the opportunity for growth, but they also have the opportunity to lose money in that scenario too. And most clients don't really understand the variable loans, so we've kind of stepped away from those. And to be honest, I think it's a large risk for the client to be looking at variable loans, especially knowing what's going on with the interest rate environments. We're in such a low interest rate environment today. I gotta believe at some point in time interest rates are gonna go up and we're gonna see inflation. And we're talking about life insurance policies that are gonna be in place for the next 15, 20, 30 years. So when they go to take income, certainly the interest rates are gonna be higher than they are today. And And that's not a good time to take income on a variable loan. So we like the fixed loan story, so keep that in mind when you're comparing us to. Okay, and one thing Nationwide does do, we're going to jump into our long-term care rider here, but I want to keep you tuned in on this. Our monitoring services helps make sure that our clients stay on track. So they'll help with policy management, making sure that the client knows if their premiums are not in line with their rewards program or for their income stream, making sure that they're not taking too much income, or making sure they're taking their income into the correct way so they don't get taxed. And then the death benefit switch from 2 to 1, making sure you as their advisor and the client are being informed that they need to make that switch. Okay, I'm not going to jump a lot into this. No lapse guarantee, well, it's just, no lapse guarantee is all it is a permanent term insurance policy. There's no cash value. All I want to say is that we're competitive in that space. Very competitive. One of the only carriers left in the market that actually sell it. Okay, have you all seen this before? Have you seen this news article? So, adult diapers will soon outsell baby nappies in Japan. That was pretty interesting to me. When I saw that article, the first thing I thought was, wow, that's a lot of diapers, right? It's a lot of adult diapers. To think that there'd be more adult diapers than baby diapers. Second thing I thought of, anybody want to know what I thought of after I thought of that? Who's changing all those diapers? Right? Who's changing the adult diapers? And then I could reflect a little bit about myself. I said, you know what? It's possible that I might get in the place when we look at all the medical advancements that's going on and all the things that are curable now that were not curable before. People are living longer and healthier lives. It's very possible that at some point in time this could be me, right? So when I was thinking about that, couldn't help but think about this is my wife and my girls again. You know, I don't want them to be changing diapers for me. I don't want them to be the ones that are going to be changing me or having to deal with my needs as I grow older. So I want to make sure that I have a plan in place so that my wife and girls don't have to change my diapers. Basically what I'm trying to say. So I want to talk to you a little bit about long-term care. Did you know, this is a stat you probably have seen before, 7 out of 10 Americans over the age of 65 will need long-term care at some point in their life. 7 out of 10. Does that seem about right to you guys?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to agree with this slide for now, but in a little bit I'm going to disagree with it. I'm going to tell you why I disagree with it. Now this is interesting for you too. 17% of baby boomers have planned for long-term care, and 10% of adults over the age of 65 actually own a long-term care policy. So what does that tell you? Is that a problem or an opportunity?
Opportunity.
That's an opportunity, right? We know 7 out of 10 Americans need long-term care, and only 17% of baby boomers have planned for it, and 10% of clients over the age of 65 have long-term care. So that's an opportunity for us to help people plan for long-term care. Now, looking at what long-term care means, most people, when they first think of long-term care, they think of a nursing home, right? The reality is the majority of long-term care isn't done in a nursing home. And I'll disagree with this slide. It says that 15% of care is done in a home, 18% in community care, like assisted living, and then 31% in nursing homes. The reality is that the vast majority of it is actually done in the home, and the reality is that most of it is done by informal caregivers, meaning it's not a nurse coming in to take care of them, it's their wife, it's their children or the husband that are actually doing the care. And we can't come up with a stat for that, right? Because there's nobody that's generating information about how long a husband or a wife or children are taking care of a loved one. So we know that as far as the professional care, 51% is home, but it's probably closer to 75 or 80% when you include the informal care. And that's an important thing to know when you're thinking about long-term care options. We'll dig into that in a minute. So when we're looking at long-term care costs, here's kind of a breakdown of the costs as we see them today. Nursing home costs, $90,000 a year. Does that sound about right? That seems about right. And then average stay is 2.5 years. So total cost for a nursing home is $226,000. So again, 7 out of 10 Americans need long-term care of some kind. If they find themselves in a nursing home, nobody wants to be in a nursing home, right? I mean, that's not our first choice. Sometimes we're just stuck, we have to. But if that's the situation we're in, it's $225,000 that we weren't planning for. When we look at home health care, by far the most affordable type of care to receive, right? $21,000 a year on average. Average stay is much longer though. 4.5 years, total is about $100,000. The challenge with the home health care though is that it's not just the financial burden, it's the emotional and physical burden it has on the family. Right? Because with home health care, in addition to the nurse coming in to take care of the nursing needs, You also have a lot of custodial care that typically the family is taking care of, and that takes a toll on the family. And then, of course, long-term care, it's getting more expensive. So 2013, $83,000 a year for a private nursing home care. The estimated rate at 2038, $223,000 a year in costs for long-term care. So when I talk to a client about long-term care and planning for it, depending on their age, we could be talking about anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 in total need to plan for. Okay, so who's planning for long-term care? When we're looking at clients that are planning for long-term care needs, who are we looking at? People with assets to protect. So they have a home, they have other savings that they have that they're concerned about. They want to make sure those funds are available for their family. Especially, this is a big thing I want you to break away from. It's not the elderly. It's not people that are close to long-term care. It's actually younger people. 81% of long-term care purchases are below the age of 65. In fact, I would say that our key market for long-term care riders is actually clients in their 40s and in their 50s. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, so any of you familiar with Medicaid and Medicare and how those work? Okay, so I won't spend a lot of time on this. Just to say that Medicaid is for individuals that are considered to be in poverty. They have to be at poverty level to even receive care with Medicaid. And then Medicare only has about 90 days of total care for long-term care, and it's all specialized nursing care. So they don't do anything for custodial care. So most people will think, oh, well, Medicare and Medicaid will take care of me. The reality is it doesn't. Okay, so I told you I was going to disagree with this slide in a minute. So here's why I disagree with it. We say that 7 out of 10 Americans will need long-term care, and that's a pretty significant stat, right? It kind of grabs your eye. But when you're talking to your clients about long-term care, the reality is we can't use the stat 7 out of 10. Because as a man, Jonas, if I tell you that you have a 7 out of 10 chance of something happening to you, what are you going to say? I'm the 3. Yeah, I'm the 3. I'm the 30%, so it's not going to happen to me. It'll happen to some other guy, right? Men are always the exception to the rule. So we can't tell our clients that it's a 7 out of 10 chance of needing long-term care because they're always going to say, well, it's not me. I'm the exception to that rule. It's not going to happen. So what we need to do, we need to get in the habit of saying, Jonas, is it possible? Of course, I'm assuming you're going to live a nice, long, healthy life, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, of course, and it's going to be a fulfilling, joyous, happiness-filled life, and it's going to be, like I said, a very long life. But towards the end of that life, is it possible that at some point it's going to be a little bit harder for you to get up and out of the chair?
I'm doing that now.
Is it possible that you might need somebody's help? Go ahead and stand up. Somebody's help just to get up and out of the chair.
I married her for that reason.
That's about right. Is it possible that you might need somebody's help getting your jacket on in the morning? Maybe buttoning your shirts?
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Yes.
If it is, then this is a conversation we need to have, right? Because if you don't have the funds available and if you haven't made that planning, guess who's going to do that? It's going to be your spouse, right? And I looked at her on purpose. You haven't bought long-term care, you're in trouble. Get your checkbook out. You're going to buy them today.
I'm sorry. You got to take care of me.
But that's the reality, though. If they don't have that care plan in place, it's their loved ones going to have to take care of it, right?
That's true.
Okay. So here's a true statement. This is a true story. My wife's grandmother. We were talking to her at lunch, and she told us how she said, I wonder if anybody else has ever heard this before. I feel like a prisoner in my own home. Has anybody heard that?
No.
Yeah, and so she explained to me the reason that she felt like a prisoner in her own home was because her husband was a fall risk. So whenever he stood up and tried to walk on his own, he always had the concern that he might fall, and they were concerned that he'd break his hip. So that meant that she had to stay home with him all the time because she didn't have the money available to pay somebody to come and just do some custodial care to watch over him while she was out at the grocery store or going to go play cards with her friends or going to get her hair done or anything like that. So she thought she could never leave the home. She had to be home 24/7 to watch over him. She would have done some planning. She would have had the funds available through a long-term care policy. So keep it in mind when you're looking at long-term care benefits, what qualifies for long-term care. Severe cognitive impairment, so lack of memory, orientation, not knowing person, place, or thing. Or the other option would be 2 activities of daily living. So bathing, dressing, using the toilet, eating, getting in and out of bed or a wheelchair, and incontinence. So 2 of those would trigger it. So like I said before, Jonas, it's not just about not being able to do it at all. It's about needing assistance. So even just getting up and out of a chair by yourself would be considered one option, and then just getting dressed. And I think if we really dial it down to what those 2 things are right there, most men and women would agree that at some point in time, probably towards the very end of our lives, we're going to need care. I don't know whether it would be for a month or for 10 years, but at some point in time, we're going to need to care for those types of things. So that's why we need to change that conversation a little bit. We shared this slide before too, another one I disagree with. 17% of baby boomers have planned for long-term care. The reality is everybody has a plan for long-term care, because if they don't have a long-term care plan, what's their plan? They're going to have to spend their own money, right? Or their family's going to have to spend money, or they're going to have to do it on their own without any funds available at all. So everybody has a plan. The question is, are we going to take that risk of long-term care and the costs associated with it? Are we going to ship that to an insurance company, or are we going to keep it within our family? And that's what that long-term care discussion is really about. Okay, so here's a few questions to you clients. Do you have enough resources and support available to take care of your long-term care need? Can your family really take care of you? I talk to clients and their daughters in Atlanta, Georgia, and they only have one daughter and they're not married. So when they go into care, guess what's going to happen? She's going to move to Atlanta, Georgia and move in with her daughter, and her daughter's going to have to take care of her even though she's got her own business that she's running. Right? So can family really take care of you? What would you sell first to cover your bills? Would it be the house? You know, your vehicles? What are you giving up in order to pay for that long-term care cost? And then what impact will providing care have on you and your family? How does it change the dynamics of your relationship with your daughter or your son, or the dynamics of you and your spouse? You guys saw my wife. She weighs 110 pounds wet. I weigh a good deal more than that. How is she going to get me in and out of bed by herself? How is she going to get me to the restroom or to the shower by herself? Can she really do that? And then we can talk about our options here. You know, what type of coverage makes sense? Traditional long-term care, anybody see any of that? Is anybody buying traditional long-term care anymore?
Very expensive. No, hardly any.
Very expensive. There's only a few carriers that are even selling it. What's the main problem with long-term care standalone?
If you don't use it.
If you don't use it, you lose it. Second problem, your premiums go up constantly. They keep raising premiums on people. So we don't see very much traditional long-term care at all. In fact, I saw a stat that said that less than 8% of all long-term care coverage sold today is traditional long-term care. So we don't see that very often. What we see most of, life insurance with long-term care coverage added as a rider or built in. So we're going to talk about that today. Chronic illness goes into that, and we'll talk about it too. Some options for paying for it: required distributions from an IRA, annuity withdrawals, or money that they don't need for retirement. So savings that they have set aside that they don't necessarily need. Okay, so let's talk about nationwide long-term care solution. First of all, the benefits are paid to the owner of the policy and the tax-free benefits. They don't require any receipts to receive benefits, and the benefits can be used for anything the client wishes, and that includes informal care. So they want to pay your loved one to help take care of their basic needs at home, they can do that. In fact, I had a client in Nashville, Tennessee. She wanted to have her grandchildren come visit her one more time before she passed away, and so she had extra funds available from a long-term care benefit. She used those funds to buy plane tickets for all of her grandkids. She had like 13 of them. So she had her grandkids all fly in, and she spent a week or two with each of them in her home, getting to spend time with them before she passed away. So that's the flexibility that our policy has that many and most providers don't give you, because we allow for informal care. The other thing that separates us too, we allow clients to receive benefits outside the United States. So if they're here from another country and they want to go back to that country, we'll still send the benefits even from another country.
That's a good answer for those people in the Philippines.
Okay, so how do you qualify for our benefits? Well, we go back to 2 activities of daily living. So you cannot do 2 activities of daily living, and it does not have to be a terminal illness, meaning that it could be something that you're going to get better from. So a lot of people, are you all familiar with chronic illness benefits?
Yes.
Okay. A lot of chronic illness benefits are able to, they have a similar look where you can't do 2 activities of daily living, but the second piece of that goes along with it is that you have to be chronic, meaning that you're never going to get better. So when you go on claim with a chronic illness product, you have to get a note from your doctor saying you cannot do 2 activities of daily living, and you're chronic and you're never going to get better. Okay? Nationwide doesn't have the chronic piece nor a terminal piece. So what that means is when you go on claim, you can go back off claim. So let's say, for example, some things that would work with our product that wouldn't work with a chronic illness product. Is let's say you were in a car accident. Okay, you're in a car accident and it was a bad accident, and it's going to take you, 18 months to rehabilitate. So you're not going to be able to walk on your own or different things like that. Our product will pay you a benefit while you're getting better. If somebody had a stroke, they were going to get better, but again, they need to go through therapy and rehabilitation. Ours would pay benefits even though the doctor says they're going to get better. Cancer treatment's another one. So even though they're going through cancer treatment, and again, the doctor says, yeah, they're going to get better, but they'll have to get the treatment which significantly impairs their ability to take care of themselves. In those cases, too, we could pay out a benefit, whereas chronic illness wouldn't. So it's these things to keep in mind. How the benefits are paid, Nationwide pays 2% of the original base amount. They pay it monthly, and they'll pay it up to the HIPAA amount to keep it tax-free. And if the client has a need above HIPAA, we can still pay a tax-free benefit. We just need receipts to prove they need that much benefits. So we can pay above 2% if the client needs it. That's paid directly to the policy owner, and the owner of the policy decides how they spend the money. Of course, I know it's tax-free. And the big thing here, too, is the dollar-for-dollar benefit. So for somebody who's looking at a chronic illness, oftentimes chronic illness is discount method benefits, which means they have to discount and give back some of the benefits to the carrier in order to receive it for chronic illness. Nationwide gives them a dollar-for-dollar benefit. So for every dollar they reduce their death benefit, they get $1 of benefits for care. And then there's also a residual death benefit, so they get at least a minimum of 10% of their original base amount paid up at any point. So if they use up all of their benefit for long-term care, they still have at least 10% left in there as a death benefit. And I'll kind of show you an example of how that works. So some things to keep in mind comparing to our competitors. One, we pay benefits outside the United States. Our rider is available up to Table E ratings on underwriting, and it can be used for informal care. And they can even certify for it outside the United States as well. So, okay. So, I thought I had. Let's see here. Here we go. Okay. Just a comparison here on the long-term care versus chronic illness, because I know that chronic illness is such a big deal right now in California. We have a lot of people selling it. Just a review of our product. You pay for the long-term care rider as an addition to your premium up front. Okay. So your premium does go up for adding a long-term care rider on a policy. But the good news is that with that, the costs and the benefits can be explained to the client up front. So you're going to tell them exactly how much they're paying and how much benefits they receive, versus a chronic illness policy where you can tell them what the premiums are, but you can't tell them how much benefits they're going to receive because their benefits are calculated at the time they go on claim. It can be used for temporary claims, and it can also be used for chronic claims as well. And like I said, it's always tax-free and be paid outside the United States. On chronic illness, it's paid for, the benefit of the chronic illness is actually paid for with the loss of benefits. And the way that I've seen most of these illustrations work out, it's about 10 times more expensive than a long-term care rider added to our life insurance policy in total cost. And the big problem that I have is that the cost is unknown up front. So we don't know how much it's going to cost them to use that benefit, so we can't plan towards it because the client says, I know I need $300,000 of long-term care protection, and that's what would make me feel safe. It's not about buying them a $300,000 death benefit chronic illness policy. We don't know how much benefits we're really going to receive. They probably need to get about $500,000 to $600,000 of benefits on a chronic illness policy to really feel comfortable with it, versus a standalone with a long-term care rider, life insurance for long-term care. Okay, so let me just show you an example of how this works. Okay, so this is our long-term care policy with a $400,000 death benefit, and they're going to go on claim for long-term care. So they're going to receive a monthly benefit of $8,000. That's 2% of the base amount per month. So they receive $8,000 that goes to the policy owner, and then they spend that money how they deem. They can use it for nursing home care, they can use it for home health care, or they can pay a loved one to help take care of them. So annually they're receiving about $96,000 a year. And what we'll see here is that as they spend down their death benefit, or as they receive long-term care, they're actually spending down their death benefit. So in year one, their death benefit's reduced by the amount of long-term care coverage. So now they have $304,000 remaining benefits. So the total long-term care death benefit is $400,000. And what you'll notice is as every year that they go and claim for long-term care, their death benefits getting reduced dollar for dollar. But something happens in year 4, their long-term care or the death benefit caps out at $40,000. The reason it caps out there is because that's 10% of the original face amount. So they're always going to have a minimum of 10% of their face amount, so always going to have that $40,000 death benefit. So if they were to use up all of their care, are all of their benefits for long-term care. They'd have actually the $400,000 for long-term care benefits paid, plus the $40,000 in death benefits. So total, they'd actually have $440,000 in total benefits because it's a dollar-for-dollar benefit. Now, if you compare that to a chronic illness policy, this is a different scenario, but just looking at it for $100,000 of coverage, the first thing to know with discount method in chronic illness is that they calculate out how much you have to discount at the time of claim, and it's dependent on how old you are. So for here, we have a 70-year-old, I believe this is for female. So a 70-year-old with $100,000, I'll use my pointer on this one. There we go. Yeah, okay. So you got $100,000 in benefits. For a 70-year-old, they get a $65,000 chronic illness benefit sent to them, but they have to give up $34,000 for the death benefit. And if they, this is for a male, and if it was a female, they would get $56,000 in chronic illness benefits. They'd actually have to give up $43,000 in death benefit. So for $100,000, female age 70 would get $56,000 in chronic illness, but they'd lose $43,000 in death benefit by doing that. And it gets better the older you get. So the longer you wait to go on claim, the better you are. But who's going to feel comfortable about giving up almost half of their benefits just to receive it early, right? What ends up happening is most clients, when they go to call a carrier and go on claim, and they find out they have to give up $43,000 of the total benefits they paid for in order to receive $56,000 early, they don't go on claim. They find other funds available because they know they're going to probably pass away in a few years, and why would they give up that $43,000? So it ends up being a benefit they don't actually get to use. Here's a couple examples, and we'll kind of look at the cost of this. Now, this is a 70-year-old, $1 million of benefits. This is kind of a lot of benefits. But just to give you a scenario, if they were to use the total amount for long-term care, you have $1 million of residual death benefit of $100,000. The cost of the rider for that period of time would be $33,000 for that rider. This discount method is a little bit different. So $1 million, they'd have to discount about $340,000, and then their total benefits would be $641,000. And the cost for that chronic illness would be about $358,000 worth of lost benefits to receive about $641,000 in chronic illness benefits. So a little bit different story here. $641,000 in benefits, $358,000 in lost death benefit versus $1.1 million in benefits for $33,000 for the rider. That's the only point I'm trying to get across there. Does that kind of make sense? All right. That's the thing as far as I'm going to dig into long-term care today. Because I want to spend time with you guys on the index annuity products. So, let's talk about the JP Morgan a little bit. One of the areas that we are really competitive, and I'm just going to point this out to you well, first of all, before I jump into that, there's a piece in here, it looks like this. It's understanding the differences between chronic illness and long-term care. It goes pretty in-depth on how long-term care rider works, the nationwide, and how chronic illness works. If you want to educate yourself on that. In the very back is a piece that talks about our New Heights annuity. And this is a very important product because we're very competitive in this space. I'm going to just kind of show you some high-level points on why we're so good at this space. But this will go into greater detail on how the product works. Let's see here. So let's start with the basics concept of an index annuity. Anybody here want to share what, in your opinion, the main values of looking at an index annuity? Why a client would want to do it if it's a really high level?
Safety.
Safety. Why is it safe?
You don't participate in the downside of the market.
You don't participate in the downside. So you have downside protection. You have $100,000 and the market goes down 25%. You still have $100,000, right? You're never going to lose anything.
Principle.
So we're going to talk about capital preservation. You're going to protect your principal, right? You're not going to lose any money while you're in there. So what's the other piece of it? Accumulation, right? They have an opportunity for their savings to grow. And when we get into accumulation, we're looking for opportunities for significant growth, right? We want to put them in a solution that's going to give them good opportunities for growth. So we're going to talk about the JP Morgan mosaic here in a minute and why that's so powerful. But then the other part of it too, oftentimes the client's concerned about income in retirement, right? So they've saved up a retirement fund They know they want it for income, which you'll find nationwide we have a high point 365 income rider. The basics of that income rider is that every year they delay taking income, they get a higher guaranteed withdrawal rate on their income. Okay, now that guaranteed withdrawal income is going to be some of the highest income guarantees in the industry. So if a client knows that they want to use the money for income, we're going to be able to offer them an income guarantee that's going to be higher than you'll see in other places in the industry. And it's going to be a lifetime income that they and their spouse cannot outlive. Okay, so that's an important feature for somebody looking at retirement assets. So talking about the growth, let's look at the JP Morgan. I'll tell you this product does come with more than just one index option. We were looking at the S&P 500. We have an international index that we look at as well. But what we most always sell is our JP Morgan Mosaic Index. The reason that we almost always sell it is because it's a really strong index. And we'll get into why, but we're the only carrier in the industry that has it. So keep that in mind too. Okay, so basics of it. This is a dynamic index. So if you're looking at the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones, typically those indexes don't change. They don't put new companies in or take companies out. They're typically always the same. This index, it changes every month. It's a dynamic index. There's no money managers. Nobody's saying this is how we're going to invest the money. They actually use an algorithm. So they have a calculation or a math equation that says this is how this product's going to run. And they have a computer that runs it for them and tells them how to have the index invested. So they're looking at 4 commodity classes, 3 American asset classes, 3 German asset classes, and 2 Japanese asset classes. Every month, they're going to evaluate all of those different asset classes. They're going to select the up to 6 asset classes that have the best return over the last year, over the last 6 months. And then they're going to weight those asset classes, so you're going to weigh how much money to put into each asset class based off of which one has the most risk. So the ones that have the least amount of risk get the highest weighting, the ones that have the most amount of risk get the least amount of weighting. So when we look at how does that perform, that dynamic index, how it's changing every month, how does it compare in the marketplace? This is just a scenario. I'll show you the real numbers to date. But this is comparing it to the S&P. I wanted to show you this because you can see the return is a pretty steady upwards return, right? This is what this product is really built for. It's just consistent rate of return. The S&P 500, it's up and down. A lot of fluctuation. And over the period of time that we're looking at here, you'll see that the S&P earned 3.28. The JP Morgan actually earned 5.5. Our goal, this isn't actually to earn high in the S&P. We're just trying to get steady, consistent growth. It's just kind of happened that that's the way it works. And then this just gives us a couple scenarios. When the S&P was down, negative 10%, we were up 5% on the JP Morgan. Negative 13 on the S&P, we were up 4.9. And you look at the annualized returns here, 3.28 versus 5.53. So let me just kind of show you what we're looking at on today's numbers. You all know what happened yesterday, right? So yesterday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Was it Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm losing my time a little bit. So anybody who knows what happened on Thursday?
Rhodelia.
British.
British pulled out the European Union.
Pulled out.
Euro.
So what happened to the markets around the world?
Went down.
Everybody panicked, right? Okay, so here's the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ year to date. Negative 0.14, negative 0.32, negative 5.98. Now if you're in an index annuity, guess how you feel? Are you worried or are you okay?
We are okay.
You're okay. Why are you okay?
It's not going to go negative.
You're not going to go negative, right? So you didn't lose anything. So you feel okay. You didn't lose any money. So you're not panicked.
Yeah.
Everybody else is panicked, but you own an index annuity, so you're not panicked. You didn't lose any money. Now, if you own Nationwide's annuity, you're actually really happy. Are you really happy?
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, you actually feel really good right now if you own
I
Nationwide.
feel good.
Okay, this is why. You see this again, right? These are the 3 most common indexes in the United States, right?
Yes.
Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ. All of them are negative.
Wow.
Let me show you our JP Morgan Mosaic Index.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, my client's gonna be happy.
Yeah.
If they own this annuity, they're going to be calling you, thanking you, and asking you for more.
Ask more clients.
It's gonna be a showdown.
Okay, JP Morgan Mosaic, year-to-date return. Who can read that?
Wow. 6.77.
6.7% rate of return. 6.77 on JP Morgan to date this year.
Wow.
Every other common U.S. index is down. We're at 6.77. How would your client feel if they had that?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Will they not be calling all their friends and family saying, you need to talk to Jonas?
Yeah, they are.
Or whoever it is. This is why we're the leader right now in the index annuity space, because of JP Morgan Mosaic.
6.77.
Because for us, it's not just about downside protection, it's about upside potential.
Upside.
The cool thing with our index annuity is it's uncapped potential. So there's no cap on your earnings. And right now we're mirroring the JP Morgan percent 100%. So whatever the JP Morgan gets, that's what you get in your annuity. Okay, so your client calls you, what did I get year to date? 6.77% so far on JP Morgan.
There you are.
Number one returning index annuity right now in the industry.
Wow.
So, alright.
So, I'm about done. We got 2 minutes left.
I thought your name is Jesse.
My name is Jesse.
Yeah.
I'm not done, I'm Jesse, but I got 2 minutes left.
Okay.
Here's what I'll tell you, if you guys need help with these calls, so help. You got our numbers now.
That's awesome, yeah.
Call our sales desk, we'll help you walk through it, and as time goes on and we develop a relationship, I'll walk you through this product in more depth and help you learn more about it.
For right now.
Yeah,
So-
we're gonna get in more training on this.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. So thank you all for your time. I'm really excited of, like I said, becoming giants with you guys and growing. So I really appreciate it.
Oh, by the way, I just want to let you know, I did write many policy on this thing, and I know now I can tell them.
Yeah,
Oh,
hey,
man.
yeah, you don't have to worry about the phone call.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry, oh shoot, there's that
They're
client
gonna
calling me
call
about
you,
their
man.
annuity.
Before I met Jesse, I just said, hey, this is amazing.
Yeah. So, thank you all.
Okay, give a Jesse a big
All right,
hand. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
That's a good sales point, guys. That's 6.77.
Well, you know now where to put that money, right?
Yeah, I know where to put the money now. It's Jesse's fault right now. People keep calling me and put more money in my pocket. Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah, thank you guys.
You guys are kind of sleepy. Just get up and then get yourself water or some vegetables there and wash your
Take a
foot.
quick bathroom
5
break.
minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes break.
Quick bathroom break. Oh no, he's not gonna put it.
Because we do a lot of roles, a lot of 401k or IRA roles.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I was happy. I was holding the 20,000 minimum for right now.
This is good. I have to
I
get you a point here. We're getting him.
There's noise.
It gets picked up.
Oh my god.
Can I sit right there?
It's okay, we're just gonna use it just for.
Oh, look, right there. I can just.
Come down a second.
Careful, sister.
So everybody's okay? Jesse, this is James.
Oh, nice.
Jesse James?
You did it on purpose.
Jesse James
Yeah.
from ANICO.
Oh, nice.
ANICO and James.
Yeah, Jesse.
Boy, our house.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Awesome.
Hey guys, are you learning?
Yes. You get
Oh, that was
yourself
good.
5
Yeah.
minutes.
You know, Rodelia here. We're working on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
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 No, that takes
Great.
So makes long-term care and then also
I got no one to do it.
There you go.
we have a lot of stuff.
Right, man, you can beat that.
What's the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get everybody going.
Good.
All right. Good job, Jesse.
Thank you.
All right, take a quick minute breaks and then we have to get going.
Yep, it's good. Thank you guys. I'll see you all.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
I'll take 2, yeah. Thanks. I'll see you guys.
You got it all, huh?
I like that 6.7.
Yeah, I like that too.
Oh my goodness. We can roll it over. We have a lot of bananas here. I'm gonna get my banana because of that 6.7%.
Sabi ko, count sa akin. Count sa akin. Sabi ko, Oo. Pagaw, nakuha mong training kahapon dito?
Today.
Sa solar dito.
Today,
Di ba
hapon?
tungkol niya group?
Oo. Very good. Ay, nag-side po pa. Alas side sa tapos.
Okay. Oh, give me go. Ako na tuyo ako.
Ako, maganda tuyo.
Pwede ko gabi din mga sunod din.
Ang gabi? Kasi,
Alam mo kami din sa sunod din. Anom sila.
kasi tayo. Sa next week ha, may rapos ko. Ay, hindi. Sa lunes. Kasi si Juan. Si Carlos.
Are you guys still going? There you go. See?
We're taking a break. That's what you said. We're taking a break.
Kumain ako.
Amazing, huh? There's more food. I gotta wake up Eddie, that's why.
Good.
Go eat some more, guys. Eat more banana, we'll wake you up.
I'm gonna fall asleep.
No, banana makes you awake. You know why?
James,
Potassium.
hello. How
You
you
here
doing?
too?
I'm here.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing well.
That's good. Nice seeing you again.
What are you doing out here?
Oh,
She likes me to be here.
and my honey is driving, so that's why.
You drove me?
Plenty of food, guys. Plenty of food.
So we stop by the restaurant.
Wow. What is that, a 10-hour drive?
Oh, only
Parang di ka
five
nakasama.
hours, so
Yeah.
then-
Kasi nakita pa mag-uwi. Bigyan
Not
ako.
bad.
Hindi mo naman kinig ko siya. Aniko. It's gonna be your liability. Ba't hindi na dito palagi ang ano?
Balik mo ba siya?
Hindi nga yung sleepy niya. No kidding. That's good.
Ito lang ang seminar na
Every
marami.
Good looking.
Saturday.
Like James.
Ito lang ang seminar na
Doon niya
marami.
kamukhangan.
Yeah.
Dahil naiikisip ko siya niya.
I'm gonna bring in food.
James, if you want pancit, Delia brought some pancit here, okay? Right here.
Okay, thank you.
We feed people so Eddie can speak.
Yeah, I was cruising there, you know. I said, I got to open my eyes and
Guys, can we hand it down that ANICO now since there's not hardly anybody here? Let's get some ANICO.
Kita mo
Melda?
6.7.
So there's two kinds sets of stuff, okay?
This is brand new. Yeah, you guys don't have this yet.
You want to hand some of those? There's two sets, okay?
Yeah, probably in New York.
Some too.
So, Joel, upo na sa life insurance.
Yeah, two set stuff, guys.
Hindi nga na siya mabaton.
Actually, I
Sino?
need to get some chips.
Well, you get some for
Ano sakit niya?
So everybody will have a two sets of the ANICO, okay? So make sure,
Not yet.
okay?
Yeah, wait until I get to that.
Okay. Hand it down. Make sure you guys got a two sets, okay?
who's that?
And for those people that are not here, I'll leave some of them, okay?
Extra.
As you know, I'm gonna take that there, so get some because when everybody got it, we'll take some because we have to get it done. Okay? Just do like 6 and I don't have time to get it out.
Yeah, I just
So
put
make
it
sure you
back.
get enough, okay?
Yeah. I'll take some after the meeting.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Are we ready?
So make sure you get enough. Probably 6 or 8 cents. Or how about? You okay? I think it's an HDMI thing.
Yeah, we gotta switch things.
Do you have HDMI or?
No, I have each, I, that's the old one.
Okay, well, that might work. I think, remember we did that before.
Yeah.
There.
All right, guys, are you
Okay,
are you
we're in
ready?
business.
American.
All set?
Yeah.
All right, just
The eagle has
fix
landed.
it, and let's refocus ourselves here. This is
The
a
eagle
very
has
important
landed.
person. Yeah,
The drinks is right.
Mr. James Tadeo. He came from the same central part of the Philippines where I came from. That's why he's good looking.
Now I know. I
Okay.
believe.
And yeah, and we love him so much through Jonas and Mimi, of course. And you know, he was
We were adopted by James.
James, yeah. And he was very supportive, no matter where you are. And just you know, he's a very good. I think you're a regional director, right?
National sales manager.
National sales manager. And that level is very unique. You can only find that type of level, you know, seldom here in Northern California, in entire California. But anyway, oh, sorry about that. I got to inbox here.
What is that?
Anyway,
Let me see what's inside.
before we met James, that was what 2-3 months ago. Yeah, 2-3 months ago. He gave us a very powerful presentation. To me, it's a winning business presentation, and I saw it, and then everybody else saw it. They like it, and it became our flagship. So if you concentrate on this, focus on this one, you know, sponsor it, you recruit, and then train them. There's no way that you're gonna fail. I checked this American National. It is over 100 years old. Very strong, you know, very strong company. So please help welcome Mr. James Tadeo.
Thank you,
Hey,
guys.
James.
I have a very old computer for my company, so I'm just gonna sit down and I hope that's okay with you guys. Plus the fact they're videotaping me, so I'm trying to get away from the camera. Anyway, thank you for coming on a Saturday, and Sanu, thank you for coming all the way from here. My name is James Tadeo. I am the National Sales Manager for American National Life. See some familiar faces here, so I think most of you were at the last several meetings. What Jonas wanted me to cover today are two things. One is our IUL, okay, so our Index Universal Life Policy, and then finish it up with pension plans. And I have some new material for you for pension plans, and we'll touch on that in a second. My apologies, give me 1 second, I'm still kind of logging in here. So as I mentioned, we're going to cover IUL, and then we're going to cover the website where you can get the application and run illustrations. So you guys should be able to do this on your own. So we'll touch on that today.
And keep an eye on putting in notes, because we do have a gift that I will ask in the end of this thing. So just make sure you guys, I'm going to answer a few questions, and I have gifts to give, okay? So
Take note.
take note, because I'm going to ask you from the beginning, and then of course the 3 speakers that we had, okay? So make sure you remember that if you take note. I always look at people taking a note. I know Rochelle always take a picture. Okay? So,
I think Jonas and Mimi and Sanu and our husband, you guys saw this when we were in San Diego, but I don't think the rest of you have seen this. So let me go ahead and get started with our IUL. Before we get started with the presentation IUL, you guys already know what term policies are, right? So term, there's no cash component, it's strictly death benefit, and there's a specific duration. So essentially, it's just a short-term duration, and after the duration is over, there's no more life insurance unless you convert it. Then there's whole life insurance, which is traditional fixed premium. There's a death benefit, and the portfolio is cash driven. So your premiums go in, accumulate based on what the interest rate is earning on the whole life, and then you have some access to the cash should you need it. Universal life, flexible premium, death benefit, and then there may or may not be cash access to the portfolio. And then you have your index IUL. This is flexible premium once again. Then you have death benefit. And this is index market driven as opposed to interest rate driven. Okay. So typically these are indexes, either S&P 500, LIBOR, Hang Seng, what have you. Okay. And then the variable universal life, which essentially is flexible premium, and this actually involves market invested cash. So the VUL is not something any of you are going to touch unless you're securities licensed, so we won't talk about that at all today, plus the fact that ANICO does not have VUL products other than our 401k plan. So index universal life, it gives your client the opportunity for cash accumulation. If you guys are selling IUL for death benefit, you may want to reconsider. So there's certain types of insurance policies, kind of like cars. There's certain type of cars you can take on off-road, on the road, four-wheeling, and what have you. Not all cars can do that. Same thing with life insurance. Not all life insurance serve the same purpose, okay? So with IULs, it's an opportunity for your client to accumulate cash. There's no securities invested in the IUL. It's an index that's utilized, so you don't need a securities license. Indexing, as I mentioned, with American National, we use a S&P 500 for all of our index products, including annuities. We don't dwell in the Dow or the LIBOR or the Hang Seng. It's just strictly S&P 500. Okay. So selling index universal life. Who's the ideal candidate for IUL? Well, if you think about IUL, and for those of you that come from WFG, how many hands? Who came from WFG? Okay. I don't mean to be critical regarding WFG, but I think they position the IUL as the end-all product, okay? And it's not. And so IUL is not for everyone. Typically what it was created for us, essentially, is for those clients that want more retirement income. Think of it as a super Roth IRA, okay? And a Roth IRA, it's after-tax money. The money grows tax deferred, and when you take it out, it's tax-free, okay? And so if you have clients that are high net worth, younger, or clients in their pre-retiree stages and they want more income for retirement, this may be the ideal product for them, okay? But if you have a client as an estate plan, or that's looking for transferring their assets to an estate to avoid estate taxes, or a client that has a short need for life insurance, an IUL may not be the ideal product. So I know that probably contradicts what WFG trained you guys on, but there's certain life insurance policies for certain needs. Why an IUL? So the carrier absorbs the investment risk. The client does not. There's possibility of high positive returns, more so than a whole life policy, and of course, it's not term, so this doesn't accumulate cash. And there's a safety of no negative returns, unlike a VUL, where if you sell a VUL and there's a negative market, kind of like what we experienced yesterday, if there's no negative returns here, it protects you on downside market. So the worst that can possibly happen to your client is they get zero. Okay. This allows you to create a tax-free cash flow in retirement. So as I mentioned, after-tax money, gross tax deferred, and when you're ready to withdraw, you can access the cash via loans, which is a tax-free situation. And this also gives a client with our IUL, and most IULs now in this market, they offer critical or terminal or chronic illness riders. Okay, so we'll touch on that. And it really creates a retirement fund, or essentially like a retirement pension plan for your client. So as I mentioned, think of this as super Roth. If you guys know what Roth IRAs are, in order to get a Roth IRA, you have to meet certain income requirements, and if you exceed those income requirements, you can't really contribute to a Roth. In addition to that, there's some restrictions on how much you can contribute. Thanks. All right, you see a little higher.
Just hold it.
You want? Yeah. You want to stick this in there?
Leave it up here.
Yeah, you need to stick it up.
Just lift it up.
There you go. And unlike a Roth IRA, if you purchase an IUL and your client's maybe a year into it, there's a tax-free death benefit. So So Roth IRAs don't provide that option. Okay. When your client's objective really is retirement income or to grow the cash of the policy or grow just cash for retirement, you may want to take a look at an IUL. Okay, you can earn market-based returns, get downside protection, in some cases guaranteed principal and income stream. One thing that is typically not explained to the client is, especially for those high net worth clients, how many of you are familiar with AMT, alternative minimum tax? Even in tax-free investments, bond portfolios like tax-free bonds and municipalities, those actually have AMT, which a client will ultimately pay taxes on. With an IUL, it avoids that. So it's another selling point with an IUL, if you guys weren't aware of that. The idea for an IUL is to not minimally fund the policy, is to maximally fund the policy. Okay? If you minimally fund it, so essentially the policy will lapse. There's not enough cash to absorb the expenses, not enough cash going into the cash account. And so ultimately what happens is, if you minimally fund the IUL, your client will no longer have a policy at some point down the road. So the idea with the IUL is to overfund it. Pay more premium into it if you can. So this way a lot more cash works for your client. Okay? So with American National, we have 2 IULs, and I believe there's some brochures in the back there.
You guys have everything right?
Yes.
Okay, so we have what's called the Signature IUL, and don't let this confuse you. And then there's a Signature Plus IUL. The Signature Plus IUL was just rolled out this year in February. So it's not a new product, but it's new to you guys. This was a product that was, a company called FFS had this exclusively, but the company decided to roll out to everyone. So the 2 products that you need to be well aware of for our IUL is the Signature IUL and Signature Plus IUL, and we'll talk about the differences too. With the IUL, your premium payments, pay for the death benefit, and they contribute to the accumulation of cash. You have the option of contributing that cash for your client, but in the fixed account index crediting strategies, if your client chooses to surrender this within the first 10 years, there is a surrender charge. And cumulative interest rate guarantee currently is at 2.5%. The differences between the 2 products is this. As you can see here, the max age is 85, gender male, female, unisex, which Montana only. Minimum death benefit, minimum face amount that you can purchase is $25,000, so pretty low. Premium period you can pay to age 121. As I mentioned, 10 years. If your client surrenders within the 10 years, there's surrender penalty. The major difference between the 2 products is this. If you take a look at the Signature Plus IUL, the Signature Plus, the plus stands for, there's a 1% bonus in the 11th year for the client. Okay? That's a major difference between the 2 products. They have the same index crediting strategies. The major difference is in the 11th year on the Signature Plus, there's a 1% bonus. Okay? Interest rate enhancement, as I mentioned, in the 11th year. That's not guaranteed, but that's currently where it's at right now. So anywhere from 0 to 1% is the bonus in the 11th year. So it's set at 1% currently. And essentially, the crediting strategies that you have available to you for both products are the fixed interest rate and 4 different index crediting strategies. And we'll go into this in detail, or not in detail, but an overview on how these work so you guys have a clear understanding. Okay? So the fixed interest rate, essentially, as the name implies, fixed. You put your client's money in there for 365 days and earn the fixed rate. Next year, you start over if you want to. That's essentially what it is. So the fixed rate is determined at issue, and you'll know what that is going into the account or into the policy. And if you want to know what the rate is, we publish an interest rate sheet on a monthly basis. Okay? The index crediting strategies that we have 4 different ones for our IUL. And as I mentioned, we use S&P 500 for all of them. So 40% if you with LIBOR or NSA. The participation rate for all of our IUL index crediting strategies is 100%. Okay, so that's a par rate, participation rate. And that'll be more clear for those of you that are not fully comprehensive of what IULs are and how the index crediting strategies work. but our participation rate is 100%. The cap rate, that's where it differs for the two products, okay? So the cap rate basically tells you what you can participate in as far as the participation rate, and we set a limit as to how much the client will receive. Now the difference between the two products, as I mentioned, is 1% bonus in the 11th year, but also the distinguishing factor is the cap rate. Keep in mind, when an insurance company gives you something, a bonus, whether it's up front, towards the end, they take it away somewhere else, okay? So in this case, the signature plus IUL, the cap rates are going to be lower than the signature IUL, and we'll look at that in a second. And then the last index crediting strategy is what's called an unlimited cap rate. And so that allows your customer to participate in the market, but ANICO subtracts what's called an interest rate spread, and then we'll give the client the difference. And that'll be more clear here in a second. So the first index crediting strategy is point-to-point with a cap. Are you guys really familiar with IULs? Most of you, I know some of you are. Jonas, I know you are. Mimi, I know you are. Have the rest of you sold IULs in the past? Okay. So the point-to-point with a cap, as I mentioned, our participation rates are 100% for all our index crediting strategies, and they are all 1 year point-to-point for our index IUL. Okay. So the point-to-point with a cap, how that works is we have 100% participation rate, 0% floor. Okay. So essentially what we look at is, we'll take a look at the day one when the client invests into the index IUL. We'll wait a year. We'll take a look at where the index is at a year and determine from there what their crediting rate will be. So how that works is this. So 100% participation, index increases to 16%. Okay? So the participation is 100%, index increases to 16%. What is the participation rate for the client? 16%, correct? However, we set a cap. We cap it off at 14%. So what does the client receive? They get a 100% participation, which is 16%. We cap it off as 14%. So that your client will be credited 14% following year, okay? And then you start over again. Now, it has a zero floor. So if there's a downside market like there was yesterday, if the index decreases to -4% at the end of the year, your client will receive what?
Zero.
Correct. So, pretty simple. You guys sound like you know what your IULs are about. So then we have a point-to-point with a cap and a higher floor. So in this case, rather than your client getting 0, we'll set the floor a little bit higher. And in this example, it's going to be 1.5%. So if there's a downside market, index increases to -4%, and there's a floor of 1.5, exactly, your client will receive 1.5. Okay. So the third index interest rate strategy is a point-to-point with a specified rate. How this works is American National sets a specific specified rate at issue. Okay, and let's assume in this case it's 7%. What we will look at is, we'll take a look at the S&P when you deposit this account at issue, and a year from now, we'll take a look at where the S&P is. If the S&P is equal to or greater than when you started a year ago, we will credit you that specified rate. If the S&P is less than when you started, you will get 0, or your client will get 0, okay? And so it'll become more clear here. So in example 1, the starting interest is 1,000, okay? A year from now, the index is at 1,100. And in this case, the specified rate is set at 7%. So there's an increase in the specified, or actually the index. What does your client receive? 7%, correct. Example 2, index starts at 1,200, stays flat, doesn't go anywhere. It's the same where you first started, 1,200. So there's no change in the index. What does the client get? The client gets 7%. Remember, it's equal to or greater than when you first started, you'll get that specified rate. Example 3, your clients, or your S&P starts out at 1,300. There's a downturn. The S&P is at 1,170, so there's a decrease. what does your client receive? Client receives 0. Okay. So remember, with the specified rate, we set it at 7%, we being American National. We take a look at the index when we first started and a year from now. If the index is equal to or greater than, you get that specified rate. If the index is down, your client receives 0. So that's a specified rate. Does that make sense? Okay. So the last index crediting strategy is a point-to-point with uncapped interest rate spread. So there's no cap on this, and well, essentially a cap. We go up to 20% as a cap, essentially. And then so whatever the index does, whether it's 5%, 10%, 20%, 30%, we cap it off at 20%. American National subtracts their interest rate spread and credits the client the rest. So here's an example. So the index is at 20%. Okay. 1 year point to point, at the end of the year, it's 20%. We deduct our spread, which is determined at issue, and in this example, it's 5%, that can change. So we credit the client 15%. So that's the uncapped strategy. Okay. If the market or the index goes down, and the index decreases to -4%, and the floor is 0, what does your client get? 0, correct. So those are the 4 different crediting strategies, or index crediting strategies, plus the fifth. And as you can see on the rate sheet, this is as of May 1st, and I need to update this. But if you take a look at the rate sheet, and you can find our rate sheet on our website, but if you take a look at the rate sheet, to the left is a signature IUL, to the right is a signature plus IUL. And as I mentioned, the signature plus comes with a 1% enhancement in year 11, which your client will receive. But then also, if you take a look at the caps, it's a little bit lower in the signature plus. Okay? These products were designed for high cash accumulation. So what American National has done is minimize the mortality expense ratio. So we try to minimize the expenses so the client can accumulate more cash so they can utilize it for retirement income. But if you compare the 2 rates, you kind of have to determine which direction you're going to go. Okay? I can't decide that for you because I don't know what your client's situation needs are. But you can see which, you kind of figure out which direction to go. Okay? So, essentially filling out the application, your client's taking an exam, you help the client decide what type of index crediting strategy to select from. You can choose all 5 if you wanted to. The CAS participation rates, specified rates, you need to know those before going into the appointment. Segment terms, of course, it's 1 year. The rational marketing message, if I could show you how to protect your family, potentially supplement your retirement income, would you be interested? Okay, so those are some questions you guys need to ask. It sounds like if you came from WFG, you guys were brainwashed to sell how to sell IUL, and they had some really good training at WFG. So, our IUL also comes with living benefits. For those of you that conduct business in California, it's a little different in California than the rest of the country, so be wary of that. It does come with terminal, critical, and chronic. Okay? And of course, the benefits is there's an actual discount that's taken out of it. California ADR limitations, chronic illness is not available in California on term insurance, and if a permanent insurance has a term rider, then you can't have chronic either. There's supplemental applications to complete to get all the 3 benefits, so make sure you're familiar with that when you fill out the application. And for critical and chronic in California, for clients 65 and over, they cannot get chronic and critical. Okay? And I will send you the details. I think I've sent that to Jonas, and hopefully you guys got a hold of that, so you can kind of see the differences between California and the rest of the country. So why American National? Why should you purchase your IUL through us? Well, our products are fairly easy to understand. Hopefully that was pretty easy as far as the index crediting strategies. Our target premiums are generally higher than our competitions. We have high caps and participation rates, accumulation value. As I mentioned, we try to maximize that for your client and minimize the expenses. Rolling targets, accelerated death benefits, interest rate enhancement for the Signature Plus. Okay? So this is the disclosure. You guys read that, right? And so let me get into our website. Have you guys logged into this yet?
Yes.
Thank you. If you guys have not, you do not need an agent code in order to access our website. Okay?
The
And our
only
web-
thing is, if they do access the illustration, it seems like you need it.
Well, there's two ways. I'll show you how to.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to do the illustration. Yeah.
That's where we've been having problems.
Let me show you that. So this is our website, www.img.anicoweb.com.
Michelle,
That's
you
our
know that.
website. Okay. For those of you that want to download the application, okay, what you need to do is go to Virtual Forms, and then select Product, so you have all your products here, okay? So you want to look for Signature IUL, and make sure you select the IUL, not the New York version, okay? So Signature IUL, unless you want to do Signature Plus, but we'll just do Signature IUL. Select the state, get a list of forms, okay? Right, give it a second. And then there's this box right here. So you don't have to click all these. If you select that, it'll select all the forms for you. And then what I typically do, and most of you know that most clients have additional beneficiaries. I always get the additional beneficiary page. This includes the application. If your client's doing authorization, make sure you select that for EFT. If your client's over 71 years old, make sure you select that. And then if the policy's $2 million and up, make sure you select that. And then all you need to do really is just select this. And then it'll pretty much upload with all the forms that you've selected for the IUL, okay? And just so you know, we use the same application for our IUL, our term, our whole life. The only difference is with the IUL, it comes with the additional documentations for the index crediting strategies. And this should come with the riders, because it's California, it'll automatically come with a supplemental application for the ABR for living benefits. That's on there. And so this is the application. Pretty simple, okay? So that's the application. Now the illustration. If you go back to our home page, and if you want to learn more about our product as far as our IUL, for the life products, Index Universal Life, Signature IUL, and we also have what's called the presentation, okay? You guys can download that and listen to that if you want to. There's additional marketing material on there if you need it. If you guys want to, send out flyers to clients, go to Sales Resources, pre-approved ads, and then here you have pre-approved ads that we've already created for you. Signature Plus, IUL, so on and so forth. Just click on that. And these are some ads that you can actually send out to clients or agents should you want to. Now, if you are appointed with us, we can add your name and contact information on this brochure. Our marketing people will send you the PDF and you can print them as you need it. And to do that, just make sure you click Advertising Request Form. And then you can get any of these brochures, whether it's retirement planning, lifestyle, signature term. There's a lot of brochures on there that you guys can utilize for whatever you're marketing, okay? So if we go back here and do the illustration, let me go through real quick. This is the rates. These are where you can find the rates, okay? Now it's divided into the rest of the country versus New York. Make sure you select the right one, okay? So current interest rates, it'll still list June's rates. And I know that because it reads June up here. That's how smart I am. And then annuity products, the first page are the annuity products, and I'll tell you the rates. And I know this group I have yet to touch on annuities. But the first pages are the annuity rates. The second page are life rates. You can see here the signature IUL versus signature plus IUL, and the caps and crediting strategies and so forth. Okay. So that's where you can find the rate. And then as far as illustration tools, we have e-illustration. So, just so you know, Expert Illustrator, we just launched this, I think just a couple months ago. This is our new illustration software. And this is where Jonas and Mimi were saying that you need to be online to do this, and that's correct. For Expert Illustrator, you do need to be online or use the online version. However, we still offer our old illustration software like Portraits where you don't need to be online. If you download the standard, you can download that to your desktop, okay? And so I have it on mine. Let me see what it is. And so that's what the icon looks like.
Would the illustration on the standard LPS will be the same thing as
Exactly. It'll be the same printout.
This printout.
Yeah, same thing.
All right.
Okay, so for those, I'm just going to use the old one, just so because I don't know what the connection here is like. So this is the old LPES illustration. Okay, and so we're going to run an IUL illustration just so you guys are familiar with how to remember.
James, is that your house?
Yeah, yeah, I live on the very top actually. That's actually our corporate headquarters, Galveston, Texas. And the very top floor is a museum where you see Bonnie and Clyde's policies and so forth. And it'll give you a nice 360 view of Galveston Island. Yeah. Up to the second floor, Hurricane Ike flooded up to the second floor. So if you guys have never been to Galveston, I kind of don't know why you would want to go there. But Galveston Island is flat.
Yeah.
And so Hurricane Ike flooded right up to this point. So valued agent. Okay, so we're just gonna go to valued agent here and start. Now this is the old version. I still use the old version because I'm used to it.
Just make it.
Yeah, it's just easy for me. But the new version actually is pretty easy. So let's do
22 years old.
32.
Female.
What would that be? That's 29. Let's do 31 plus. Let's go 84. That should be 32 years old. Female.
That's my birthday, 1984.
1984. Man, I'm old then. That's when I graduated from high school. So make sure California is a state, because it automatically defaults to the state you're located in. But if you're doing business elsewhere, make sure you select the right state. Okay. So California, then you go to products right up here. Okay.
So what happens if it's
If you do it.
if you go to the products store?
No, it's gonna default something else. But you want to go to the products, and this is where the products are. Okay. So your client to JT, if you ever need to change that, just click on that. It automatically defaults to Executive Universal Life. So click the down arrow, and then you get all the products. You have to scroll up to get the signature IUL. Okay. So let's just select that. And standard, let's just keep that. You want preferred? Maximum
Yes.
or
200,000.
yeah. So if you guys are using it for, so how do you guys run your illustrations for a retirement income? Do you do minimum fixed amount or you do maximum?
Max.
You do max?
Yeah,
Or in
Really? Okay. I just kind of curious. I see how it
Good
goes.
max. Good max.
Yeah, let's start off with. So as far as option A, B, and C, What you guys,
Depends on the age.
okay, good.
James, explain the C. I haven't
Oh, you see.
quite understand C.
I'll get to that one.
Okay.
Is that term?
I'll send you guys the difference between A, B, and C. Input. So how much you wanna put? 200,000 premium?
No, this is premium.
Pay some more, pay some more.
200.
And we're gonna do monthly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. To what age? Let's do
65.
65. Okay. Now, when you select 65, you can see the very bottom of this, automatically default to the 1,000 annual and so forth. You need to change that if you're using the old system. Okay? And then just for, so it looks good. So from 32 to 65, the client's gonna put $200,000 on a monthly basis. From 65 to 121, nothing. Okay? Then you select return. So you have option A all the way through, monthly premiums, allocations. Don't forget, you need to select that because you need to figure this out. But typically when I run them, I just put 100% here. Okay? That's just for illustration's sake. And then the last thing you want to select is a max loan if they're going to generate income. So what you want to do here is it automatically defaults to 67 to 121. You want to change that to 65 because that's when they want to start taking income. Now let me show you something. This is for the old system, not the new system. This is one of the quirks. If you go back to this page and you go back to max loan, look what happens. It automatically defaults again to 67. So you have to change it. So essentially, if you want to preview it, this is the last screen you want to touch. And then you select preview. Okay?
You okay, Nando?
She's so excited about this, she's crying already.
Can't wait, yeah.
Hopefully this works.
If you don't want to fall asleep, you get up and you get down. Up,
Up and down.
Yeah,
so you
this
can
is-
get your blood going.
James, sometimes it's just sitting there. Is it something you have to click?
No, you just have to wait.
Yeah.
And I think it's because just the connection here is really
Oh, okay.
slow.
Yeah, either that or get a new laptop, a faster one.
Actually, my company's going to give me a new one.
All right.
So this is a new this is the illustration. Okay. And so this will show you the face amount, the age, female, monthly 200, table age 65, and you selected option A. So this will generate $82,000 or $8,200 annually for 56 years for the client. Okay. And then in addition to that, it will also list the potential benefit for their terminal illness, chronic, critical, and terminal. Okay. And then basically the part of it is right here, which you guys have to look at. I can't see it.
Right there.
What's the minimum guarantee there?
I can't see it. So right here, it shows you $2,400 for paying for 65, and then generating $82.92 annually. Okay. As far as a target, where do you find a target? That's usually on page
What's the
39.
minimum guarantee there?
What are you looking at? Let's see. Hold on one second. So on the very bottom of this is page 9. Okay. There's two numbers in the middle, 200 and 43.89.
Oh.
The 200 represents the minimum amount of premium for the policy.
Okay.
The $43.89 is a target premium, your commission. Okay? So if you guys are looking for that, so what were you looking at, Roy? Oh, 2.5.
2.5?
Yeah.
And the current?
The current is 2.5.
2.5?
Right here. Right here. Okay. So, I kind of want to play around with this. So you guys ran a maximum death benefit, okay, and it generated 571. And then your income is 8292. So if someone can kind of take notes on that real quick, jot those numbers down, and I want to see something there real quick, see if this maximizes your income. So I'm going to solve for minimum. I'm going to solve for option A, actually option B to age 65 for the point sheet and money, and then switch it to option A. And then keep the premiums the same. So 265, okay. And then allocations are the same, max loan, which is 65. Go to preview. So then you want to sing? While this is coming up? Okay, here we go. All right. So take a look at this. You guys solved for maximum life. I solved for minimum. It's 250. My income came out to 17,000 on an annual basis for 56 years. What was your income? 82. 8,200. Yeah. So the reason I switched it, I selected option B first is that goes to build more cash value. Okay, more of the cash value is growing. And then I switched to option A. Okay, after she stops paying, and that's what generated more income. So you kind of have to play around with option A, option B.
So with the option B, starting from 32 to 65.
So you switch it to option B, and when you actually get an illustration from our back office, they'll run the option B up to the point they're paying premiums.
Okay.
And then you have to remember, or your client has to remember, to switch it to option A when they start generating the
The
income.
income.
Right.
Because of your leveling the cost of insurance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, let me see here real quick.
Oh, I never thought they can do that. I always run it all the way.
Yeah. So that's why I want you guys to play around with that. So it's interesting how you guys run the illustrations and do the max. I solve for the minimum. Because anytime you do an IUL, you want to minimize, you're buying this life insurance secondarily. It's not the main reason you're buying the life insurance. The main reason you're purchasing the IUL is to generate tax-free income. So you want to maximize that as much as possible, minimize the life insurance. So essentially what we're doing is paying for the least amount of life insurance as possible, allowing the cash to accumulate. And that's what I did here,
But the first one,
is option A all the way through.
yeah, and then
Max-
the
max
max
death
of
benefit.
the life is 500 instead of 250.
Exactly. So you have to determine what your client wants.
One, yeah.
Towards the end, do they want max income with, a pretty sizable death benefit? Or do they want max income and they don't care about the death benefit? So you kind of have to play around with that. Trying to get some information here. So there's differences between So does that help out at all with the illustration, you
Yeah.
guys? So that kind of makes sense as to
That makes sense to me.
what you should run?
Now, James,
So
Yes, sir.
max
if you're gonna have let's say, anybody from 16 down,
16, age 16?
age 16 down, how many people there, they say, hey, insure people the time that they're a baby and everything like that. I know my recommendation, but I just want to ask you guys, what are you going to do on the illustration for people that they want to insure their kid normally about 4 years old, 5 years old, to up to sometimes 10 years old? What would you recommend to them? Just
Well, I would.
rider, or you just want to
The writer?
no rider with their parent, or just get
Or individual.
an individual policy?
Maybe
buy
insurance.
buy from the parents and just rider to the parents, or you wanted them an individual?
Individual
Or child.
policy.
You want to do an individual? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what would you run them?
Less insurance, and more income. I think that's.
Yeah.
Can I answer that? Okay, if the child is a rider and then the mother die, the child doesn't have life insurance anymore. That's the answer.
And in the IUL, they don't have living benefits.
They do.
Kids.
They do?
No, they won't.
For hours?
I guess for LSW. they don't.
Oh.
Yeah, we're not LS, I'm not LSW.
That's a good. That's a good.
Jay,
Oh, really? They still have?
the question, like, if you're running a spouse rider as a term,
Yes.
this,
Mr. Rupert.
Now, if you add a term rider to our policies in California,
yeah, I know they.
it omits the chronic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is get a separate term policy. So this way you can take advantage of all three living riders.
So you recommend
Getting
the
a separate
spouse,
policy.
separate
Separate.
policy? If she become chronic or critical, she's not qualified as a spouse.
It'll omit the chronic if you add a term rider to a permanent policy with us. So you don't want that. Unless chronic is not that important to you. But if you want your spouse to have a chronic ride, all three riders,
Uh-huh.
okay, as long as they're below 64, if you want them to have all three riders, do not include a term rider on them. Get a separate term policy.
Oh.
So if you say it's a separate term, she have all three.
Well, no, because the term,
Right?
right, in California,
Chronic not apply,
chronic doesn't, term does not have chronic. It only has
Correct.
critical and terminal.
and terminal. yeah.
But most agents tell me that having chronic on a term policy, or just having chronic in general, is not that important as long as you have the critical, because typically, if you have a chronic illness, it becomes critical.
Correct.
You can activate, the critical will activate the benefits. So.
But if you run the spouse as a term rider, she's excluded from those, the critical and the critical, she's not, eligible for that, right?
It's not
I'm kind of
eligible.
confused a little bit. Say I have a husband, I'm
Uh-huh.
running a husband, 500
Yep,
IUL,
yep,
and then I have a wife, term 20 years,
right.
okay? If the wife get chronic ill, is she qualified for that critical? Or
Well,
chronic or critical?
Oh, you're asking, no, because it's two separate policies.
No, it's in one. It's a family plan.
So so you're asking if the wife gets a terminal, or gets a
She
term,
yeah,
okay? If the
Uh-huh.
wife gets a term policy,
uh-huh.
does she get the chronic? No.
That's a no, but critical here.
Yes, the critical and terminal. Now, here, let me kind of go over the differences between California. This will hopefully make more sense.
Okay.
Let me go into this real quick.
So James, on those riders, are they, you have to pay separate?
There's no cost.
No cost, okay.
No, it automatically comes with the well, in California, outside of California, it automatically comes with the policy. Within California, there's additional supplemental forms that you need to complete. So let me,
But James, all three riders are in California.
correct.
But all three only apply to the IUL, single, policy. You see, if you have a term right attached, you're not qualified for chronic
Correct.
in California.
So that's
Correct.
why you have to.
So here's the
Yeah.
difference. Here, how are the California Accelerated Benefit Riders unique? Okay.
Okay.
And essentially, age restrictions. So I'll send this to you guys again so you have it, so you understand what California's, the differences between California and other states. So chronic and critical illness riders are not available for clients 65 and over. Okay. For chronic and critical, you have to be 64 and under, and the maximum living benefit is up to $2 million. So if your client's 64 and under and gets a $3 million policy, and it's 2 million, and they can use 2 million of that.
2 million.
Okay. For terminal illness, it's the same in California as the rest of the country, where you can go up to 65 years old, $2 million, and for anyone over 65, 66 and older, it's $1 million.
So it's terminal 24 months?
Yes, in California, it's 25 months. You have to see the other states what they have. Some of them are 12. So here's what you were talking about, Suman. Term policy and rider restrictions. Your client cannot get the chronic illness rider on a term policy in California or a permanent policy that has a term rider. Okay? And so the supplemental applications listed there. And then this is also a quirk in California. If your client does not have health insurance at the time of the policy at issue, they will not be allowed to get critical living benefit. They have to have life insurance, or health insurance, I'm sorry. They have to have health insurance, health coverage, prior to issue. Okay? What they do after that is up to them. But at issue, they have to have health insurance.
Is that an add-on? They don't have it now, but they have it later?
Well, if they don't have it now and they apply for life insurance with us, they won't get the critical.
But they cannot request later on.
They can't. You can always add these. If you don't get the living benefits now, you can add them later.
Oh, okay.
Okay. These are not. It's not imperative that you get them at issues, but it makes it easier. All right. So I'll make sure you guys have this.
So
And
in
this
this
is
case, if you insure the parent, don't insure the kid, because get them a separate policy,
Right.
because they will not qualify for the chronic
Right.
if they have the term.
In California only.
Yeah.
If you do business in Nevada, these rules don't apply,
Oh, okay.
or anywhere else. Okay.
Just mentioned if they got the term and then when you have a living benefits, they can add them.
Right.
So even if it's like it's a second already, they can just hold it.
If the policy is existing currently, but there was a deadline, Sanoon writes a lot of American National, and she had clients that she sold prior to us approving the living benefits. What is the deadline? Is it May 30th? It's over.
May 31st, it's over.
Yeah, so
And I
her
was
old
rushing
clients
to-
that didn't have it before, they had up until May 31st to add it. Now, if you sell a policy today and you don't have the living benefits, you can always add them later.
But the ones that are old.
They had up until May 30th. We gave them 5,
It's
6 months.
expired, isn't it?
Yeah. Keep in mind though, do it before they're age 64. Okay. Okay. This also tells you the difference between A and B, and I'll send this to you soon.
Okay.
I can't see this. Option C is return of premium. And option B is increasing, option A is level. And so this is the rule of thumb as to what you can do, switching from A to B to B to C, C, or what have you. So you can switch it A to B. We did B to A. Okay. And going from B to A, essentially what we're doing is increasing the death benefit, but it's also building a lot of cash accumulation for your policy. And that's why it shows more income for your client.
James, on the C that you have, the return of premium,
Uh-huh.
would that be similar to the GUL or no?
No.
Okay.
Totally different. Good question though. Good question. We don't see too many C options. We don't see many. It's usually B to A or A all the way through or
Well,
what have you.
I think like most people don't understand the C, like me.
Yeah, and that's why we don't see it.
Okay. I see the C there, but I don't know the definition.
Even our back office will run B to A. So they'll run option B to the point where they're putting premiums in, and then switch it to A after when they start taking income out.
Oh.
And that's where you can maximize. That's where you can maximize the income.
So on the C, you can run the C number, like the age of the roads. So how does that work?
Well, upon their death, they'll get return of premium. So when you run the option C,
Can you switch back and forth every year?
well, no, because this will tell you the rules as to when you can switch. There's certain restrictions as to when you can switch. So for instance, this one here, A, B, you can switch up to an AU5.
Okay.
B to A, anytime after issue date. A or B can't switch to C. C you can switch to A. C you can switch to B. So you have to be cognizant.
So
of each
you
of them.
have
I'll
to
make sure you guys have
select
this.
from the beginning, if
Yeah.
you select C,
Yeah.
and then explain a little bit about the C, death benefit option C.
Death benefit option C allows you, will be the specified amount plus all premiums paid, including those paid for the riders, less any partial surrenders made. So that's return of premium, this option C.
Return of premium.
Okay.
There's no including interest in that, right?
Correct.
So is it applied to the year, like 15, 20 years, something like that?
15, 20
No
years.
return of premium?
No, this is totally separate than our GUL.
Oh.
That's what Jonas was asking. This
Oh.
is totally different. So our GUL 15, 20, 25, that's different than this. Okay. So let's take a look here. If we do an option C, what happens?
Okay.
Minimum. Oh, which one? Default. Yeah, that's a problem with our old software. Yeah, yeah. If you could go out of that menu, on that default 67, you need to go back and see. And that's why that's the last screen you want to touch before you preview it. But the new illustration system doesn't do that. This
For,
is
for those people that write a lot of IUL, don't get caught on the A, B, C, D, or A, B, C. Because A and B, between A and B, I always said A all the time. So it's just
Yeah,
for your
that's
own.
fine.
And then just, if you want to switch it, you can switch it.
you can switch it.
Yeah.
But this shows a little bit more income for option C to A, and the death benefit's a little bit lower. So, like Jonas said, don't get too caught up with that.
But the income is higher on the C.
Yeah, the income is higher.
On the C.
So you have to kind of figure out what's more important to your client. Is the income, is it the death benefit, which one is it? And then if you want to play around with A, B, and C, you can do that. Yeah,
But if you select the C from the beginning, you cannot change.
correct.
It stay with C.
Well, you can switch it to, remember
A or
the
B.
rules?
Oh, to A or B?
Yeah, but
I
once
see.
you, right.
Yeah. C, you can switch, if you select C at the beginning, you can switch it to B and A.
Okay.
This is the way, never backwards.
Okay.
But I'll make sure you guys have this, so you have, so you know what and the explanation for
Okay.
level increasing their return. Yeah, absolutely. I'll send it to you guys. Yeah.
The reason why James wants you guys to play on the illustration is to get familiar with it. See, if you don't and you wait for someone to tell you, you'll not get familiar with it.
Exactly. This is on the manual, yeah, exactly. Okay. So I know that's a little confusing right now, but play around with it, kind of, you're not gonna hurt the computer if you play around with it. You're not gonna break it, okay? So play around with the A, B, and switching, minimum, maximum, and then just play around with it and figure out what's best for your client. And this way you get acclimated or more familiar with what your client's needs are, and then you can customize that illustration to what they really want, okay?
I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
Prior on the waiver of premium, I used to think it's very important for the client, but now that said they are approved for the chronic, which is the income, you think, I would think I shouldn't include the waiver of premium.
Waiver of premium is different than like the term rider. So the waiver of premium you can add to that. I mean, that's
And it's cost, if you
yeah,
add it, it's
an
cost.
increase it. Okay.
But what I'm saying, said there for the chronic, applying to the income up to 51, you think, because it's a cost to add,
Right.
and if your client's kind of tight, just leave it alone, don't add it. What do you recommend?
Well, it depends on what the client, I mean, if it's really important for the client to get the waiver premium, then give it to them. If it's peace of mind for them, give it to them. It's gonna cost them a little bit more, but at least they have peace of mind that God forbid something happens, the waiver premium
The
kicks
waiver
in.
premium takes
Right,
care of it.
but if it's not that critical, then, you know, why pay the extra cost?
Yeah.
So it depends, I can't say yes or no, it depends on the client's situation.
Make sure things you have to keep some kind of note about if they don't accept it after you explain to them. Because you could be sued because
Good point.
it happens to us.
Good point,
They
very
try
good
to sue
point.
us, but if we were the agent, somebody else under us.
Very good point.
You know
No,
what I'm saying? They were sued.
that's a valid
So
point.
term insurance, I always do it automatically. In term because it's less.
Yeah. No, that's an absolutely great point.
Then keep that thing, otherwise.
Very good point.
Kasi ang
Okay. I know I confused the heck out of you guys regarding illustrations, but
No, at least for me, it's a learning, because a lot of times I played with it, but I'm not quite sure what's the key there.
yeah,
So I'm
I'll
learning
send you
today.
that
Okay.
snippet with the record
Okay.
information to make sure you guys have that. But at least this way you know where to find our illustration software.
Okay.
And then Jonas was mentioning that you have to be online to use these, and that's correct. Yeah. Even the desktop, you still have to be online, unfortunately. That's,
And I also have to listen to the password.
Exactly. That's a newer version. So what Mimi was saying is, for our expert illustrator, this is our new illustration software, and it only includes currently just life. It doesn't include the annuities. LPES is our old one, which includes both life and annuities. You can still use this and download it to your desktop. You do not need to be online to download the standard. This one, you have to have an e-agent account. You have to include your password and information in order to get this. Okay. So this one you don't.
You want the standalone,
We cannot use the old one in, can we use the old one in our iPhone?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So the standard, LPS standard, that's what I still use that because I'm just used to it.
I told you guys, there's a use for old people.
Exactly.
Mentioned to you
That's
guys.
me, that's me.
The old people still can work.
That's right.
They don't like to change.
That's true. Yeah. I'm just so used to it.
Oh, one more thing that James, I just want to let you guys know, if you're gonna use the live e-apps, make sure you're using the Internet Explorer, not the Google, not the new internet from the Bing,
not the five
because not the Pipe app or the Edge, because it won't work. Okay,
We find that out.
so they're changing their system.
Yeah.
Internet.
We're supposed to have a new website coming up here in the next couple of months, so this may change. But I just want you guys to be familiar with the resources are available to you on our website. And once again, with our website, you don't need to have an agent code. You can go directly on there, get pension information, sales resources, there's pre-approved ads, e-agent, and so forth, illustrations. So all that information is on there. Additionally,
James, hold on. Like Roy always suggests, if you guys, after doing this, buy a policy for either your parents, yourself, and everything. You can get a small policy just to do the live e-apps, so that way you can get familiar with it.
it's pretty easy. The
Very
light-
easy, yeah.
Yeah. Well, but
Absolutely.
sometimes people.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
so-
easy. Really easy. It
And
won't-
it's very efficient, you know why? When you do, I hate doing the hot copy. There's so many forms that you miss.
Yeah.
E-application, it's a done deal. You complete, it's complete.
Well, it won't let you move
Yeah.
forward if you
Yeah.
do it. So that's why.
And that's why I don't want to deal with paper. It's too many to deal with.
I just want to throw this thing while James is here. James, let's say for example they're under 250, they don't need
Medical.
medical, right? So if you put no, you haven't done, you know how they ask you, have you set up everything like that? No. Does it automatically, the underwriter asks for it, or they require it?
What?
The
Exam?
PARAMED and all that, you don't do it.
No, ask Sanu. Say no. How does that work? She's an expert
Yeah.
with Underwriting Express. If you submit the application, there's face amount Underwriting Express. It's 250 and below, 65 and under. If you fill out the application, you submit it through online IGO process.
That's what we do.
That goes directly to the underwriter. They don't request an exam or anything like that. They'll run the databases, MID, the
Because it's
prescription
not
request.
required.
Yeah, it's not required.
So
And then
you
typically-
could say no, 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 because you're not required to.
Well, I did
order.
that. I know how to do it. I'm just putting in this because what would happen if, say, after 2 weeks, they don't see that thing, they don't check it, and say, oh, how come my policy is not issued yet?
Then you should, do you guys go to the e-agent? Because the e-agent will tell you what's missing.
Go to your agent of Polio because it show you.
Yeah,
Because
it's like the I go e-up on the other
Yeah.
side, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, because the minute you submit it to ANICO, in a couple hours you can see your application online.
Yeah,
Go
I
to
know.
your
I noticed
agent.
The
that.
policy, yeah.
Yeah.
And then what's new is done, because Sunun does a lot of ANICO. She's familiar with Underwriting Express, and she's mentioned to me that if she fills that out, let's say for today, for instance, the following day it'll be approved. So she's had experience.
Yeah, that's how fast it is. So.
Underwriting Express, any face amounts 250 and below, 65 and up. Okay. So,
James, when you said,
Yep, if you go to ERD agent account, and this one you do need a login ID. You need to be appointed and logged in, of course. And this will tell you all your applications, all the status and everything, and that's where we get stats as well. So you have to log in. I don't know what my login is, but that'll give you that information. Okay. And the best way to submit an application to us, you guys, is to scan it. Because once you scan it on your eAgent account, so you scan it, you put the PDF on your desktop, go to your eAgent account, drag that appointment into your eAgent account, where it says scan applications, you submit it, it'll issue a policy number right away. Okay. So
That's if you're doing the paper app.
right, exactly. Sorry. Yes. You got a question, Roy?
Yeah, when you say minimum, you talk about minimum coverage and higher income. You know,
Minimum coverage, higher income.
you know when you make a selection.
The illustration.
Oh, the illustration, okay.
When you say minimum, is that minimum coverage
Correct.
and a higher income?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So what I'm doing there is minimizing the amount of life insurance a client's purchasing.
So the retirement account goes up.
Exactly.
Yes,
So
that's good for the kids.
it's good for anyone who wants
Yeah,
to
I know,
max
I know.
income, yeah. Okay.
It's this is just an agent thing, I think. But when you do that, then the commission is a lot lower than a target premium.
I'm not gonna go there, but you guys can figure that out.
No, I notice a lot of agents.
but you'll be selling like
If you guys
McDonald's.
notice, a lot of agent inflates, even in a kid, they inflate the number on the death benefit so they can get more cost of insurance.
Yeah, that's not good.
Alright, that's not the way to do it.
No,
Yeah.
Alright?
because you want us to benefit the client, not
The
you.
clients,
Yeah. Well, sometimes benefit Jonas, yes.
Yeah.
Just put one on my.
All right, so I think we covered pretty much the IUL in detail, kind of somewhat detail.
Just to get it.
If you guys have any questions, feel free to call me. Jonas and Mimi have become experts. So has Sanoon, is already an expert. She's been selling ANICO for a while. What I'm going to cover next for the next 15 minutes, because I think that's all I have. Yes, 15 minutes. I'm not going to go into the presentation of the pension plans because you guys have seen this many times already. What I am going to go into, though, is this. This is really important. This, I'm actually introduced to Sanoon Group in San Diego just maybe a couple weeks ago, a month ago. This is brand new. And this is information that you guys should take a look at if you haven't already. You can order these or I can send you the PDF. What this does is, this is really a lot of information for you. This gives you telephone scripts on how to approach businesses to discuss pension plans or retirement plans. Okay? It asks for current clients, telephone script, unknown prospects for telephone scripts for unknown prospects, current clients. Additionally, unknown prospects, overcoming objections. It gives you a list of information on how to overcome objections. Conversation starters. You guys need conversations, how to start a conversation regarding a retirement plan. It's listed on here. Letters. If you guys need letters and want to send these out to your clients, here are some form letters that you can utilize. Put your name and number on there. Send them out. A lot of valuable information on here that was just created for an agent. And so the key for retirement plans, of course, is not understanding every nuance about pension plans. The key is for you guys to pique the client's interest, fill out that census form, and you start the conversation with this information that's in this booklet, okay? So go through this, get yourself familiar with the conversation starters, overcoming objections, letters if you want to send them out. Go through this with the valuable information. Okay? And I'll make sure Jonas has a PDF for this, so this way Jonas and Mimi can send it out to the people that work
It
with
will be good because we're traveling a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the nature of this? You said we can download some of those letters
Mhm.
online?
Yep.
Show us. And then customize it.
They are, and essentially what you have to do is, for instance, let's go here, so I'll do sort of quick group ads. So let's say you want to use an ad. Okay?
Guys, this is a very good topic for the
Pensions,
audience.
pensions. So take a look at these. These are all different ads that you can utilize. So make sure you know which ones you're using. Agent use, customer, consumer use. So let's use this one, consumer use. Okay?
This is for pension planning.
And these are brochures or flyers that you can send out. So here's a brochure that you can utilize and send it to your clients. Agent name and contact. If you go back to very top page here, advertising request form, it's going to ask your information.
Wow.
Okay? It actually, once you send this or send this to our marketing team, they will send you an email. You submit. It takes us 2 to 3 business days for them to process. You'll get an email from our marketing team with a PDF with your information on that brochure.
Wow.
And all you have to do is print.
Yeah, all you have to do
And
is
you can
print
give
it,
it to businesses or anything.
or send it out via email, whatever you guys want to do.
Are there like
Might as
videos,
well.
things that we can share, emails?
None that are compliance approved for pension plans. I don't know if you want to turn off that camera, but yeah, they're none that are compliance approved.
But I guess just show them through the site here, send them a link.
They can go through this. There's presentations, but these presentations are really for you guys. There's a ton of presentations here that That's it. No, no, and you don't want to be in that position. Yeah. Correct, correct, exactly. So your role as the agent is to pique the client's interest, get that census form, submit it to us, we'll do everything else.
She's an accountant. She is
She's an accountant.
Actually, you know who you should talk to?
There you are.
This is the person you should talk to.
James, after that, for the interest of those people that was not there, that don't understand the census that we do on the pension plan, just touch bases on what we do, the process, so
Sure.
that way those people out in the back that
problem.
have not heard it, you know, they're gonna understand, oh, okay, so this is what I do. Yeah.
I want you to talk to Bob. Give him a call.
Yeah.
He's our ERISA attorney. He loves talking to CPAs, tax attorneys, or tax preparers. Give him a call, and remember, he's an attorney, so he's seldom jokes around. He's just very, but talk to him. That's what they're there for.
So, so BBD that you're talking in next.
Correct, correct. And just, if you look at some of the prompts, just put, ask for Bob Clark, okay? All right. Now, where to get the census form? If you go back to our website, just so you guys are familiar with this.
It's in a package also.
Yeah.
If
You
you
know,
go
a lot of businesses or adult care or home care, this will be a business that people that are under 25.
I saw that presentation, so you can put that presentation. And then like when you apply, you can run to that presentation.
Oh, does it?
Never mind.
Yeah, it's not compliant.
It's inside the.
It's inside of this one, the retirement plans, and then here,
Insert.
the insert, okay? Make sure you guys have that because it's important.
If you guys run out of those forms, you can either order more, or you can do the online version. So if you go to pension sales, go to pension sales home, and then what you can do is request a proposal. You can do online or printable, okay? Has all that information. Once you complete it, this is where you want to send it. And the turnaround time's anywhere from 2 to 3 days. Usually it'll get to you the next day. Well, let's go over the census form, so you guys have an idea for those that have not witnessed this or heard about this. This is ideally what you want to do. Okay. Let's see if it downloads. Okay. That's the old version. Okay. So the census form you have in your packet, this is the front page. It's 4 pages, okay? The front page you don't really need to do anything with, so you're on the second page. The second page, the very top is your information. The middle is the business information. Tell us about the business owners, who to contact at the business, their tax year, their tax bracket, and so forth, when the business began. The middle part of that, additional business information. Most business owners have additional ownership in other businesses. And depending on the type of business it is, we may or may not need to include another plan for them. So that's another sale for you guys, okay? Depending on that type of business, we may have to get more than one pension plan for them, okay? The goals and objectives, tell us what the client wants. Tell us what the owner wants. Is it to maximize their contribution, their employees, their flexibility of their contributions? The very bottom part of that, which you can't really see, which you'll be able to see in your form, is what type of plans have they considered, okay? Whether it's traditional defined benefit plan, 412(b)(3), cash advance. If they don't know, there's a bottom box, the very last box reads, check here if unsure, we'll do the rest, okay? The third page is contributions. Tell us about the contributions. Is it going to be consistent? It's going to be variable. Is it employee turnover high? Is it low? Desired amount of annual contributions. Now, keep this in mind. The business owner that you come across, the IRS likes to see these funded for a minimum of 5 years. 7 years is ideal. If you have a business owner that's one and done, meaning they contribute once and they're finished, not good. Because the IRS will totally just make all that taxable. So make sure the client, when they do their contributions, they're able to contribute a minimum of 5 years. 7 years is ideal. If you got someone that wants to contribute once and they don't want to do anymore, they're not the ideal client for this. Okay. These types of plans. The middle part of that, existing plan information. If you come across a business owner that has an existing plan, provide us all that information. If they don't have an existing plan, just cross that out. You don't need that information. Any additional comments on that page? You can kind of put on the bottom. The last page is census information. Tell us about the owners. Tell us about the employees. Once you finish, there's a fax number or email that you can scan this application to, the census form to, and essentially how the process works is this. You get the census form completed. You either scan it or email it, do whatever you want, send it to that information on the bottom. Within 2 or 3 days, you will get an email back. Now, keep in mind, when you do send this via email, please CC me on that email so I can track it, okay? So you send it to our pensions folks. So our pension folks, it's either Bob Klein, Mike Ruda, Jonathan, or there's a new guy. But they'll get that your information. You'll receive an email within 2 or 3 days regarding 1 or 2 or possibly 3 proposals. There will be a pension contact person that created your proposal, okay? You will get an email of that proposal, contact that person. Once you contact that person, you can go through the proposal line item by line item so you understand it. If you don't want to do that, your next step is schedule a conference call between you, your client, and possibly their CPA if you can get them on the line, and the pension specialist that sent you that proposal. That pension specialist, let them know the time and so forth. They will get on the call with your client and do the presentation for you, okay? Let them run with it. They'll answer any questions you may have. And from there, the client will decide whether they're moving forward or not moving forward. If they are moving forward, we will send you what's called an installation packet, which is essentially the application for the retirement plan. the pension specialist will walk you through that the forms, and all you need to really do is get signatures. Okay? And that's it. That's how simple it is. We don't want you to become a pension expert because it's too complex and too involved. But all you need to do really, pique the client's interest, gather the information, send it to us, schedule an appointment. Okay? And that's really all it is.
All right.
And then, yeah, no problem. So,
Oh yeah, remember that. There you go.
Is that on?
Can you tell that? Because some of the
Yeah.
back, they never seen this.
And it's just one deal, right?
well, this was just part of the commission.
Oh,
This wasn't even
part.
all of it.
man.
So, the people on stage, to the left, that's Dawn Franklin. She's the director of our pension plan. In the middle is Raul, who's looking at the check. He's the agent. To the left of, or to the right of him is his daughter. The girl in the middle there is on the court. The girl on the far right is the wife. So Raul used to work for WFG. He was tired of recruiting because he made zero money. So guess what? He said, producing is where I can make money. This gentleman used to be the city controller for the city of La Puente. He quit his job to become a full-time insurance agent because he was making 10 times more money selling insurance. This is his first retirement plan. He came across a client who was essentially a home health care situation, 3 business owners and 3 employees. These clients were paying $300,000 in taxes every year. $300,000 in taxes every year to the IRS. Raul approached him and said, hey, I have something that you should consider. There's maximum tax deduction, so on and so forth. He got the census form. He got the information, understood, had the proposal. He wanted to present it on his own. He did present it on his own. We closed the deal. We sent him the information, intro to the packet. He filled it out on his own, so on and so forth. Anyway, the plan that he sold is a 412E3, which includes life insurance and annuities. This commission check is just for the life insurance. When they added the annuities, the commission check was over $110,000. That's his first one. That's one sale. One sale.
Hey, we can retire Rodelia now.
That is one year.
So this is an opportunity for you guys, and the market in this area, in Northern California, is untapped. There are no other agencies that are doing this at all. Okay? So the opportunity is huge for you. Let me go back to that.
James,
Yes, sir.
what if somebody who wants a care home, free care home?
There you are.
How do we offer?
That's your best friend.
Call this guy here.
Fill out that census form and ask them, are you maxing out on your tax deductions?
Okay.
And they'll ask you, well, what do you mean by that? Do you have a retirement plan? That conversation will go 2 ways, yes or no. If they have a retirement plan, we offer a free review. Let us take a look at that and see if we can save you some comp. If they say, no, I don't have a retirement plan, ask them, well, how much are you paying taxes on an annual basis to the IRS? If they say X amount of dollars, how would you like to redirect that? Not only to yourself as a retirement plan, but also get the tax deduction. Here's how we start. Fill out the census form. The census form we just talked about. Gather that information, send it to us, and then we'll run the proposal for it and see if we can save more taxes.
That's a good start.
Remember, use this. Read through this. Please read through this.
Okay.
If Eddie doesn't help you, we will help you.
Okay. Robert, can you repeat what he just said? James?
He
The
said,
best thing is a
Well,
golden
they
census.
recorded it, so.
All right, I just want to make sure everybody's listening.
Okay, you wanted to go back to this one. Oh, where to go? I'm sorry.
It's in there. Oh, yeah, it's in the packet.
Yeah, if you run out of it, if you go to our website, let's just go to the homepage, it's not from scratch, pension sales. Okay, and then what you want to do is request a proposal, and then confidential proposal request form, you can print that out or do the online version. If you want to order some for yourself, go to, oops, sorry, go to supply order system. And then you can order a bunch of them.
and If Mimi doesn't help you, we're here for you.
She's appointed.
So,
Are you
3:30.
already appointed?
Yeah, she's appointed. ANICO. She's appointed.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so Agent, if you're appointed, just complete this and we'll walk you through that.
But they still
Mamaya, turo niya ni Jonas, ni Mimi.
You need to get appointed. Because if you don't get 78,000, we will.
Okay.
We need to know the owner of the nursing home.
Nursing home, what is that?
Yeah,
Mimi
take
ka.
care of me.
Yeah, this time I gotta call you. You don't answer my email.
Alright, so my time is up. I only have an hour and a half.
Anybody has question
Any
to
questions?
James?
Any question for Jim? Anybody?
Everybody?
So remember, there's a quiz after all of these things. Don't leave.
Yeah,
No, seriously, I have gifts.
Again, we just purchase gifts. All right. You give
Okay,
James
James.
a big hand. You know that is a very good. I was with Jonas at the Mountain Mike's. Is that Mountain Mike's?
Yeah.
Mountain Mike's.
Pizza?
Pizza, right? So we went there and we purchased pizza and soda. You know how it is. Wherever you go, you got to open your lips, right? Yeah. So Jonas opened up his lips for business, and he asked that the manager, some kind of assistant manager, do you guys have a pension plan? He said, no. Do you own this place? I said, no, I don't own this. The owner is not here. But the owner owns seven of this pizza. You know, imagine that. How many employees that? 7 times is 10, let's say 10. That's about 70 people.
Yeah.
So you better follow up with that, Roy, or me and Eddie will make
I'm following up, but what I'm saying, he opened up his lips. You see what I'm saying? Because we purchase something, why not open your lips with those people? Just like you said, this guy here, just use him. Otherwise, Jonas will do it and do it.
I lost Mimi and Mr. Jonas.
Okay, so thank you so much,
James, thank you. By the way, you guys are going to be seeing a lot of James. He's going to travel to me, with me to Seattle on July 23rd.
On a Saturday.
I'm sorry, I've been working too much.
My golf day.
All
And
right.
then we're going to go back to San Diego.
That's right.
Okay,
Gotta use you in the future, Jim.
our next presenter, I've known her for the past
2 hours.
maybe 6 months. 6 months.
Yeah, that's all right.
And anyway, she was so passionate about this business, you know, and she knows this business 100%. Of course, when she married Jonas, it accumulated 200%.
Just went this way.
But she has a lot of energy, right? And so, without further ado, please welcome Miss Mimi ESTEVES.
So, technically, I am an agent, I'm a producer, until I get married and really be an administrator. And I still love doing producing, okay? Because I love going out and meeting with customers, talking to people. I love that. And now I'm stuck in the corner with the computer.
Oh, come on, you're so humble. By the way, James, she wrote 5 American National awards.
That's
you
only
a
my
shirt.
family. So that's not even other people yet, okay? But what I like the most is really the pension planning, because I have been a business owner myself, and I know that being a business owner, you're so focusing on your own business, you don't really think about anything else. But James said, you know, this is untouched market. It is, he is right. The reason I'm saying that, I was in San Diego, and we stayed in a hotel, because we were there whole week, we didn't want to bother our relative. So we stayed in a hotel, and after we got done, when I was checking out, I went to the front desk and checked out, and I asked the manager, and I mentioned to him, you know, he said, oh, what is that? I want more information. But the thing is, I don't live in San Diego, so I'm actually talking to Sinoon, so I get to have Sinoon going back.
You know, because working with business owners, their priority is they're making money. You know, dealing with their own thing. So, seeing us is the last thing. So we always have to be available to them. But once you meet them, you know, just keep going at it.
They pay too much taxes too.
Yeah, and they do.
Yeah.
But you know, for us to go see them, talk to them, you know, it's, at least I can tell you, 3 to 5 times, that's the lowest number. Okay, before you get all the information, because they maybe say, okay, come back, and then they're not gonna have all the information available, and then you have to go back again. So just want to let you know, working with business owner is gonna take longer time, but it's good money. So keep that in mind, right? And also when I was in Portland eating, this is my the restaurant I haven't been back for a while. My husband was there too. I talked to them, and they're like, "Oh, I like to hear that more." You know, I mean, like you're talking to all this business owner, they don't know. They want to hear more. It's just we have to be there for them. I mean, can you be there? My problem is that I'm not here long enough. I'm not here long enough. So I keep going back. So I mean, it is a very untapped market. Okay, business owners, they're focusing on their own business. They don't have time to think about this stuff. So, all right. So now that I changed from being producer to administrator, so I kind of shift my role a little bit. You know, since we adopted the new system with the unit writers, I really love this the system. I mean, each one of them, I actually watch them, go through them. So, and I encourage each one of you guys, go in there. This is a wealth of information, okay? I wish that it's available for me when I first started. I mean, if I had found this system when I first started, you guys won't see me, and I won't be married to him.
You're a millionaire now.
Exactly. So, because, I mean, this is just awesome. So, I know a lot of you have registered, but you haven't used it, or some of you haven't even visited at all. So, I'm going to start from the beginning, okay?
Listen, this is very important for KFG, and especially those people that are going to come on board to your group, because this is very important, because a lot of people didn't understand this, what to send the link, and what's the next step.
Okay. So, you know, getting started, when you getting started, the first thing you do is there's no internet.
Here.
Oh.
Eddie, can you put yours? or
Hotspot.
mine?
It's your hotspot.
Put yours.
Okay, it's not doing anything.
Bert, I already sent you the link, but I think
Oh, yeah?
it didn't open your computer. Yeah.
When?
After our seminar in Plan.
So resend it again, and then you do it, and then we'll walk you through. Just call
Okay.
her, okay?
Thank you for it.
Because you might know a lot of businesses, right? All right, there you go. See, if you guys don't make money after this thing, I know that there's seriously that Eddie, Roy, me and Mimi, we need to really talk. Because we have a big job to do.
We need more guidance.
You know, remember, this is almost July.
I know.
And then July, 6 more months, December.
Yeah.
December is my favorite time of the year, seasonal, right? This is where Christmas starts. And I do not want to work in Christmas time.
Right.
So,
Vacation, go to Hawaii, vacation time, right?
Can I use it on the computer?
Mike, the computer?
Yeah, because I forgot the link, yeah, because it's separate.
Well, you can plug it in.
So I'm gonna go ahead and follow this website right here. Okay, to have access to that university training, you have to create your username and password here at Unit Writer. So you have to come over here. So if you come over here, you don't have a username and password, you have to create it. To create that, it's pretty simple. There. Your first name, last name, emails, and your password. Okay? That's all you have to do. But once you get done, activate if your contract is not in the system. So the first thing you need is send us a agent contract, agreements, because if you don't have that, you can create it, but you cannot log in. So mostly if I have that experience, right? Once we have your agent contract, agent agreements in, you can log in because you go in the system, it's activated. So.
So when you log in, always use my what user's name?
Well, you can use Eddie.
Always?
Yeah.
You already know?
That's a good area.
Yep, he'll let you use his.
Do you guys have all the link to send to your people?
So how many people in here are already been create your username password? Okay, how many of you have gone through walkthrough? Okay, well, since you haven't walked through it, those of you that are new, go ahead. When you get home, when I send you the link to register, register as an agent, and then come over here. I'm gonna send you an email also to come over here and create that username and password here. Okay. Once you get done that, when I have your contact in, it'll kick out that you are activated to have access to this. But I want to go ahead and walk over here, so I just go forward. Most of you as an agent, more likely you're going to come over here at the university because this is where you really want to be. Okay, this is the university campus. This is where you want to go. This is where is what Eric went through this morning about walking you through step by step, how to approach the clients, how to do presentation, how to handle objection. So this is, I love this. Okay, I mean, I watch them.
So the key here is going in and then just practicing it. But you have to be contracted to us in order to get the access and also access to our lead system.
So this is, I mean, they have final spans. Actually, we have more than that, IULs and stuff like that, but it's not up here yet. It's gonna be in there.
Yeah, they're trying to get in here very soon.
Months. Yeah, because everybody cut behind on the work right now. So, but I suggest, I urge you guys, okay, especially new ones, go to each one of them. You go 1, 2, 3, each one of them, because it's gonna walk you through step by step. Just like everything else, you go through the first time and kind of get familiar with that. So, and I mean, it tell you final experience and how to qualify for final experience. Final experience, your target market, prospecting, setting an appointment and presenting. To me, these are the very crucial part, 3 and 4. Because if you don't not good at either one of these, you can sit in front of prospect, you don't know how to present. You're not going to close the sale. Okay? Even though the prospect need it, but if you don't know how to present it, they just can say, okay, I'll check on that later. So, I mean, I really love this system. That's all I can say. So just go to each one of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 7 ones. Do I show you a little bit? Is the additional resource library. That's where you want to go, where they actually make a phone call, and you can actually listen to the call. Okay, I love it. That's all I can say. So sales trainings, document apply. So those are all good information. And the only one that I did not go to is the only one I did not go to is mortgage protection. But I did go to here, wealth transfer. This is a very good information right here, wealth transfer. It's about 56 minutes. And he walked you step by step, okay, on how to ask the question. this is how is the form. This is the need analysis. And from what we find out, most of the agents are afraid to ask for these analysis. Okay, here, simple question. I mean, it's very simple. The video will walk you step by step how to ask this question. You know, because normally when you're asking all these questions, if you don't know how to ask, it's very intimidating. Okay, but when somebody shows you how to do it, you're like, oh, that's not so hard, right? Well, here we have that. Okay, step by step. Exactly 6 minutes. Right here. We walk you step by step. So I urge you guys to go in here and check it out. Okay? And if you still have questions, you know, you have us to call and you have Eric to call. I mean, we're all available. So that's it on that. You want me to cover any more on this website?
No, I just want to let you guys know. Sweetie, hold on.
Okay.
This, although we have an affiliation, this is not free. They spend a good fortune. I mean, when I say a good fortune, and they're still spending money to get this thing up to date all the time. And you guys know that they pay server and everything. Although this is an affiliated company, they discount us to use this access. Right now, all the leaders are paying for it. Okay, so I just want to let you guys know. Eventually, my wife's going to tell you how much is it if you ever, sweetie, can you tell them how much if they either access that, the new one that they ask, Mike will ask all those.
So, because, you know, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm doing that.
So, like I said, you know, I mean, we're giving this for you guys' own tools. We're paying for it because, now how many of you guys started a business that you don't start and spend any money? I mean, think about that. Most people, they spend money. Here we're trying to help you guys out, devoting ourselves, but we're all independent, but at the same time, we're sharing you our time and effort and commitment. You know why I go to Sinun a lot? Because she made a commitment, I put my 100% commitment. The same thing as Amnet, the same thing as Pahin, the same thing as wherever you guys at, I will put commitment as long as I live. Okay? So just make sure you understand that. That is our commitment as KFG owners.
So this
okay?
is the dashboard that to help you keep up with your traffic agents. Okay, this is not free. Okay, this is, I mean, if you have this, that's why we are able to have access to UW, the training. Without your contract being in here, you won't be able to see the other side. So that's why some of you know, that say, hey, I grade already, how come I cannot go in there? Well, because your contract is not in here. If your contract is not here, you will not activate it. So it's kind of go hand in hand because, you know, those are the asset to this. So let me go back to this link. So this link, anybody can have it. This is also a recruiting link, okay? For people that want to recruit, what you do is just send that to anybody they recruit. This is what most of people don't, that we send to people that we met. When I say, you know, to start a business with us, as simple as 1, 2, 3, give us an email. We send you an email with the instruction, following the instruction. This is what we send, okay? The first time we send out agent registration, it's really simple right here, okay? I can pick on you, Albert. Okay.
Builder. Bert
Bert Builder. That's what I have.
Yeah, Bert.
Okay. Money, right?
Money builder.
Oh, Money Builder. Bert Money Builder.
Not Yahoo.
At yahoo.com.
Better money.
Sweetie, do this within 5 minutes.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we
yeah.
gotta get Eddie out.
Lambert.
How you say it?
Lambert. First name.
L-A-M-B-E-R-T. Okay. So this is how simple it is. And then after that, you just fill out the rest information on red, your first name, your address, the city that you live in, the county, and phone number.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yep, your emails, and right here is what your education, yes or no.
It's in the
Okay.
email now.
So, and then, you know, if you're looking for part-time, full-time, right here, just tell a little about yourself, and then click submit, and you're good to go.
Then you are registered.
and you register. So then you
You have a
come in
question?
here.
Send me one.
Send email one.
Okay, I
It's
will.
truly clear at
Okay,
gmail.com.
I'll get your email. I'll get your email.
So give it to her your email card. Yeah.
So I'll get your email
Yeah.
because I'm gonna take, I'll have all the email. Every one of you will have it. So that's how easy it is. So to get this link, to get your own recruiting link, is you're gonna start out, if you don't have any, if you're not writing anything at all, you still can get your own dashboard, okay?
Wow.
You can still get your own,
Good.
but you have to pay $450. If you start making about $10,000, he'll break it down to $350. $20,000, $250. $50,000, $100. If you make $60,000, you break it even.
Free, huh?
It's free. So because we told them that, we have lots of agents, they all want their dashboard. They all want to, we own the recruit. Because right now, because only us having it, we send it out on your behalf. But when you have your own, it come out on yours. You can put your name, send it out to your recruit.
The truth is, we don't want to do this because we are really a producer and builder.
So
We're kind of like tied up here. For right now, we're carrying the burden for all of us.
So that way,
The thing
we
is,
all,
we'll do it,
we
okay?
kind of help each other
Once we
grow
make
right
money,
now.
we'll share.
But some of you are going to be a lot stronger. Say, hey, you know what? I'm a builder. I can walk faster. Get your own. It doesn't take.
Yeah.
If you can make $60,000, you don't even have to pay. Okay? So because they can be, and some can be a little slow. And
2 minutes.
so let me go ahead and power out a little bit on the dashboard. So when somebody registered coming in like this, so let me go ahead and finish our real quick, so that way I can show you the example. Okay, what's your last name, Albert?
Patangi, P as in Peter, A-T-A-N-G-Y.
A-T-A-N-G-Y,
P-A-T-A-N-G-Y.
like that?
G-U-I. G-U-I.
U-I, like that?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your address? Everybody gonna see it?
2393 107th Avenue. Avenue, Oakland, California. 94603. Single.
There's no single there.
What's counting?
Alameda County.
Okay, very good. And what's your phone number?
650 793 793 2176. Cell phone.
71?
2176.
Oh, 76.
Cell phone, same thing.
Uh-oh. 2176.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's right. Okay.
The same as cell phone.
Okay. Education level, postgraduate.
College graduate.
Okay.
California law.
We have a life, health and life.
License.
Yes.
What license do you have?
Security. You have an insurance license, right?
Insurance license.
Is security?
None.
Okay. You have your own transportation?
Yes.
She has a horse.
Okay. Are you are you convicted of felonies or financial
No,
misconduct?
no.
That's why he's
Part-time,
not married.
full-time? Part-time, full-time?
Part-time.
Part-time, okay.
I'm an insurance agent, single, looking for a horse.
Italian.
By the way, when you guys, this is not a joke.
Yeah.
If you guys filling that up, tell your potential recruit, make sure they have a 4 or 5 statement, or just hit the ship, so that it will do something. Otherwise, if you submit that, it will revert saying not complete.
Oh. Say something.
Yeah, say something, whatever. Good looking, 5'6" or whatever. All right.
Looking for a horse.
Voila, congratulations.
There you go. Done.
Are we get already?
Yeah.
What is that?
No, not yet. You still have to complete the next
So,
one.
you still have to do another one.
Oh, that's
So we'll send you a link.
Okay.
I just have to refresh because
Yeah. And you're almost done because we got a few minutes left. Just
Okay.
1 minute.
Yeah, I just want to show it real quick.
Okay.
So, voila, our work is in here.
Now we're gonna send
So
Albert
now-
something.
Now we're gonna send Albert a link to fill out the agent contract.
This is not a link for the bride to be. Okay?
So this is
link
what it's
like
gonna
this.
go out. This is what it look like Albert when it's going out. Okay, you're gonna have a fast start, a checklist. You can have carrier set up. You can have agent agreement and action plan. We only need this one and this one back. Okay, these two, carrier set up and agent agreement. Those two that we need back. The other one is ready for you. Okay. So once you print it out, fill it up, and send it back to us, and then you can have access to the
university.
the university.
Oh, okay.
So we need that ASAP. Make sure you have error on emission.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
sure you have certificate, you know, the license,
Complete.
and then you have done your AML.
AML. Anti-money laundering.
All right. Okay.
So is that I mean, any questions so far?
So,
Anybody?
I received one of those fast track ones, and there's a link there to create your profile, and I did that, and it says it's gonna send you an email, and I've been waiting for an email.
Oh, okay. I have to check. Did you finish your agent agreements and?
That one I have to email.
Okay,
So
email
I
that.
So email it, otherwise it
Email
won't,
that.
it won't kick in.
So, see, how when he come in, because when he registered, he said he have a insurance license already, so it's have a check mark out. So normally if you send it to somebody out of state, you know, you can give them a call, welcome call, so if they can check out. So, this is like, you know, everything else, if it's not done, it's gonna have a red mark until get taken care of and you move on.
It's an amazing,
It's
an amazing
It's very
dashboard.
amazing system
CRM.
to keep track. I mean, because, you know, we are busy doing other stuff already, sometimes we forget, but here, you cannot forget it because the light keeps ticking. So,
So Mimi, for the new agent that they come on board with no license.
okay, this is
Okay.
good question.
Yeah.
So this is the agent right here, have no license, okay? Because when he filled the questionnaire, when you have no license, we send them another link. And it's gonna give them
It's
instruction.
a pre-license package and stuff.
Free license package, you have the price and everything and how much it go and where do you need to go,
Amazing.
okay? I'm gonna show you, this is the agent that we will put in Portland, so you tell him, okay, because he has no license, so I just gonna put it on the link. So this is the step that we're gonna walk him through. He did the first step already, registered online with us, and, you know, because we
Step
gotta
one
talk to
is
him. And the step 3 is him getting his license, because he's from the state of Oregon, it's gonna cost about $75. So you tell him everything already, what he needs. I mean,
Amazing.
it doesn't matter what state on, you know, you can recruit, I mean, that's why we recruit people from New York, New Jersey, Texas. It tell them where to go, they need to go. So, and once they just need to come here, click on the pre-licensing registration. So it's there without you having to do anything, within the email.
And they
Any
have
question?
they have to complete the license, get the
So
state
these are for
license in
people
order
that
to
doesn't have
access to
license.
the
So just send them the link, they just follow it.
university.
It's up to them after that, what they wanna do. So, but you know, because then when you recruit, you just have to follow, hey, how's it going with your learning and stuff like that. So, any questions? I mean, I know I kinda go very fast and walk through.
Simpler, Mr.
If you guys want to hear this again, be there on Thursday next week, because we're going to go through a lot of these things, details, and of course illustration details in Pleasant Hill office. Okay?
So, any question? Any question? No question?
So we're going to go to our affiliates.
All right, so, well, that's it for me, then if no question for me.
Thank you, my wife. All right, thank you. You know what? Before I started, you guys gotta, you know, I don't want you to think that this is something that sometimes, you know, she's overwhelmed. Okay? You know, we travel back and forth, and I can tell you one thing: we're doing this thing because we have a commitment. All of us here, the owners and leaders, we have commitment, and she's doing this thing. I know sometimes before she sleeps, she checks everything right away, and this is not an easy job and task for us. But once we're getting to the point that we're making good money, I can tell you guys are gonna be happy. And this is the reason our
let me
commitment.
match that.
Okay?
The task is not easy, it's very easy, but follow-up is hard.
So, no,
Because follow-up-
it's
easy for you, but it's hard for me because she does not sleep. I don't sleep.
I know.
Okay? So,
Because
All right.
after that, everybody said, follow up with your agents.
All right, the next the continuation of these presentations, we have a very good partner here,
Our
Solar
partner.
USA, and the CNO and founder of this company is none other than Mr. Ed BANSAG. Please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, you're awake, right?
Yes.
Yeah, don't sleep at me because I speak Southern accent. Okay, who wants to go to Rome and Italy? Raise your hand. Okay, here's the flyer. Pass it around. Because I'm giving free trip to Rome, Italy. So the contest is going on since June 5. But if you can crank up with your production, that's 3 sales of the week. We give you 2 tickets, husband and wife, or husband and wife or wife, whatever. Plus $1,000 pocket money. Is that good? You know there is a machine there is an exercise machine in the boat that you have to exercise your hand in the casino. So that's your $1,000, right?
and can you touch bases on our relationship with you so that way they understand what it is?
Okay, here's Solar UC is in collaboration with KFG. We are in partners. Every time that you do production, I give 10% to KFG. Now, whoever is the vested agent with us, they are participating the equity share. So that's the purpose of that. So I'm contributing 10% of the company as a token because I'm also part of the KFG. So that's my intention. That's why every time KFG is there, I'm also there. So if you want to do referral, I give from $500 to $1,000 referral fee if you do not become an agent. But if you want to become an agent, my commission is from $1,000 to $5,000 per transaction.
Wow.
Is that good money?
Yes.
Good money.
Example, if you receive $5,000 in commission, I give $500 to KFG. Is that good?
Yes.
Plus the fact that you are entitled to go to Italy for free.
Wow.
And Eddie, why do you use solar as a client or as what do we use? Why do we do it? When we save the money, where do we get and put that? That's our relationship.
Yeah. So this is good partner because KFG and solar. Okay, here. Any question on the trip? Our departure is either September or October.
Almost there. July, almost.
Like for example, Melanie here, the one that's sitting at your back,
Yeah.
she closed 50 panels in just one house.
Wow.
Yeah. She made like $4,000 in commission. And then the owner of that house has 4 care homes. And the care home is spending between $500 to $800 a month. And how much is that? Probably about 50 to 60 panels. That's equivalent to 3 sales every week.
Wow.
So what you do is big appointment. I'll go with you. I don't split commission. Your commission is yours 100%. But if I'm tired, I will split with you. I'm just kidding. Okay, here. So what are your benefits to go solar? The name of our company is Solar USA. The reason we have Solar USA because of global warming. You know, it's hot right now, the ozone, it's global warming. So I have a vision. I don't have to read it. I have my mission. And the owner is, I don't know who is that guy in the bottom.
Handsome guy.
Okay, our office is downstairs at Suite 173. And we are doing training here in this office, in this conference room, every Monday night. Every Monday night at 7 o'clock. Pleasant Hill every other Thursday. And Burlingame, what is your meeting in Burlingame?
We're gonna be once Thursday.
Wednesday, every other Wednesday, and Elk Grove every other Saturday. So if, for example, in Los Angeles, we can fly there and then do the seminar for you, do your groups. And then, who are our supplier? Our supplier is Uptown Solar. By the way, I'm assigned as the dealer of Uptown Solar for the whole of California, from here to San Diego. So I covered those. Who is Uptown? Uptown has been in the business since 2009, based in Texas. He is in partner with number 4 solar manufacturer in the world. The manufacturing company is in Mississippi. He has 20 acres solar farm in Nevada, 100 units that's installed in Texas, and another unit of new development in Georgia. That's how big they are. They went to California 2 years ago, and then they expanded here in the area last year. And then I came aboard with them last April. Okay, so they appointed me to become their solar dealer all over California. And the product is solar. It's made in Mississippi, but we are installing solar, the monocrystalline on top of the rooftop. What is monocrystalline? Monocrystalline can last between 40 to 45 years. And the warranty is 25 years. And the other one is, if you heard about Solar City, they are installing polycrystalline. It will last only between 20 to 25 years. Usually made in Canada or China. So there are two kinds of panel. Now, if you see the diamond in between, that's the mark where you can recognize where it is monocrystalline. I have to do it fast, right?
Yeah.
Okay, solar will work on this what we call inverter. So what is the work on inverter? I'll show you later on. Our solar is Uptown Solar. And our financing company are California First, based in Oakland, Hero Program based in San Diego, and Migraine is based in Santa Rosa. They're the one that finance your solar. And this is the way how solar works. We get energy from the sun, it's free, nobody buy it. It goes to your panel, and this is now the inverter. The inverter, how the function is to convert your electricity from the sun to your outlet, which we call it alternating current. From direct current to alternating current. Then it goes to the panel, which is your breaker or your meter, and goes to your utility grid. Meaning to say there's no need for you to have battery because everything is deposited on your utility grid. Like for example here it's PG&E. So if, for example, in 1 month you accumulated a total of 500 kilowatt hour, and then you use only 300, then there's an excess of 200 kilowatt hour. So it's carry over next month. See, for example, in 1 year there's a total of 2,000 kilowatt hour excess. PG&E will buy to you at original price. How much is that? It's 4 cents. So 2,000 times 4 cents, how much is that worth? That's $80 that they will give it to you as extra money. Because you have an excess in electricity. What they do with the 2,000 kilowatt hour, they will sell to you new world. If you remember on your PG&E, there are 4 kinds of charges. They charge you 16 cents on tier 1. They charge you 18 cents on tier 2, they charge you 28 cents on tier 3, and they charge you 34 cents on tier 4. Now, on the tier 1, if they charge you 16 cents, how much are they making, the PG&E? They're making 12 cents. 16 minus 4, that's 12 cents. So PG&E is making from you. So that's the way how solar works. Now, we install all kinds of roofing except wood. There's no warranty on wood because it's easily cracked. And this is the way how solar looks like in your house. And by the way, maintenance, there's no much maintenance because solar panel is non-moving parts on top of rooftop. So what you do, if there is dust deposited between the cell, you need to remove it by using the power hose. Or if it rains, then it wash away. So probably in 1 year, probably 2 times that you can wash it. Because if there's dirt, it will affect the efficiency of the electricity. Now, how can you be qualified? Number 1 is you must be homeowner. We don't do anything on the person that are leasing your house. And number 2 is no down payment required. You have to keep your money in your pocket. Number 3 is no credit score, meaning to see if your score is 500, it's okay, you can have solar. So, like for example, in a competitor like Solar City, they require you to have a score of 650 to 680. And with us, 500 is okay, 400 is okay. No income verification. We don't care whether your income is coming from whatever income they derive. Maybe you are pickpocketers or whatever, so we don't care about that. Okay, 100% financing, 100% on purchase. Now, as long as you are spending $80 a month, you're qualified to have solar. Like for example, the client of Melanie here, the sitting back of Bert, her client is spending about $600 a month electric bill, and we put 50 panels. That's about $65,000. Now, this client, he wants it 25 years. Her monthly is 613. Her electric bill is 600. So what is left is 13, right? Now we eliminate the electric bill, so the remaining is $13. But the interest on that is tax deductible. The interest is about $300. So what is he saving? So 500 plus. That's the saving. So now the client calls me on the next day that, oh, I want to pay my solar in a 5 years period because just like my car. So how much is your budget? 1,600. So I went to the portal. I changed it to 5 years. Her monthly is 1,547. So her budget is very close. So next day she went to her financial planner. Then her financial planner told her that, oh, you need to pay in cash. So next day she called me again. Already instead of 5 years, I will pay now in cash.
Wow, that's a money.
Because she has four kid homes. Now, if you have bankruptcy today and it's discharged tomorrow, then 3 days after that you can have your solar installed. Is that good? Even though you have bankruptcy?
Yes.
Now, if you have late payment, we require me to have one late payment in 1 year. And if you have your property tax must be current, meaning to say there is no late payment. And then mechanics lien, if it's not more than $1,000. So these are the summary of to qualify install solar. But then I only ask 2 questions. Number 1 is, are you homeowner? You spend $80 a month electric bill? If they say yes, then I get their address. Then I will make them eligible. So what are your benefits to own solar? Number 1 is you get the 30% incentives. That's given by the government to you in the form of tax refund. Now, how this is the way how your 30% look like. Assuming that your solar is $20,000, 30% of that is $6,000. So you get that by when you are filing income tax. If you're not filing income tax, you will never get it because it will be given to you in the form of refund. Now, the $6,000 you have the option whether you want to pay back your solar, it will become $14,000, the balance now, or you can packet it and go to the Philippines and take vacation. Whatever you want. Or probably give it to Tisser or probably Imelda. They want the $6,000. Now, the interest on your solar payment is tax deductible. May eliminate or reduce your electric bill. The reason may eliminate because we base it on your past 12 months electric bill. So we don't know what will happen 25 years from now. Maybe you buy an electric car, maybe your family is very small, so the children are growing, probably because you are adding some renters in your house, so it will increase your electric bill. So what we do is, we require you to have your 12 months electric bill. We'll find out how many kilowatt hour usage you have, and then I will add 15% on top of that to compensate with the additional electric bill that we will be using 25 years from now with this buying electric car, right? So that's the only way to eliminate electric bill. Now, your first payment is due by November 2017. Is that good?
Yes.
Yeah. Assuming that you are paying $300 a month right now and we put solar on your rooftop, it takes 2 months to complete the installation. So today is June, July, August. Starting September, you are not paying your electric bill anymore up to November 2017. Is that good money to keep? If you are with insurance, which we are in life insurance right now, you are going back to your client. tell them, oh, I saved you $300 a month. I'm here doing the ANICO. Can we put it in IUL? Double purpose, right? You make commission. Now the 30% here, you can go back to the client, the $6,000, you can put it also in IRA if you want. So another money being an insurance agent. Now, your payment on your solar is tucked into property tax. There is no need for you to pay it online or April and November. Your solar payment is included. Good thing about this, here is a tax preparer. At the end of the year, give to her the statement. She will treat this as a tax deduction. Is that good? 100% deduction?
Yeah.
Now, this is the way how property tax looks like. This is your bill statement with the county, and this is your solar. It's included.
Wow.
Now, good thing about this, may increase the value of your house. Say, for example, you're paying $300 a month right now on your electric bill. Your house will appreciate by $72,000. You can, if you want to sell it, you can sell it anytime you want. There. Solar may be transferable to your homeowner. If you want to sell your house, it's transferable because whoever is paying your property tax, solar is included. So now, if the new homeowner is paying the property tax, so you don't have to worry because there's no qualification, no credit score required. So they are eligible. Now, it's against increasing electricity cost. You have to remember that your PG&E is increasing 6% every year. So your $300 a month right now, probably 5 years from now, will become $475. And 10 years from now, it will become $450. But your solar payment is fixed. So the difference is your savings. The warranty on the solar is 25 years. The warranty on the inverter is 10 years. And the workmanship where this weatherproof rooftop is 5 years. There is no leaking. Now, earn energy credit for future demand, meaning to say any excess because you take your vacation to Europe, Philippines, somebody is not using your electric, so there's no more excess, so PG&E will pay you. So these are the summary of owning the solar. By the way, it is written here in my flyer, you can have it. The typical example is, this is the PG&E charges. The tier 1, it charges 16 cents, 18 cents, 28 cents, 34 cents. If you are paying between 111 to 235 a month electric bill, we can give you 18 panels. So I will go on, and then we can sit down with you. So these are your utility that you use electric bill. Number 1 is water heater and swimming pool. It's about 40%. So almost 50% of your electricity is coming being used by your swimming pool. And then washing machine, small appliances, stove, heaters, refrigerator, and so on. Now, why go solar? Number 1 reason, because PG&E wanted to go solar because they will buy the excess. Number 2 reason, because of a great investment. Don't treat solar payment as your expenses. It's an investment because it's a home improvement. So your $300 a month is well, your house will appreciate by $72,000. Now, avoid pollution. You are helping the environment. For every 16 household that put solar, it's equivalent to 540 trees that we plant every month. It's equivalent to 100 cars that we don't run it because of carbon dioxide. It's equivalent to 480 households that we change into LED, meaning to say there is no pollution anymore. The reason number 4 is because of freedom. Bert, if you don't pay your bill 2 times, 2 months in a row, shut off your electric, right? Something like that. So now you don't have freedom, right? But if you own your own solar system, put in your rooftop, you are now, you have now the freedom. See here, you can fly because you have the freedom. Because you own your own solar system. You have to remember that electric bill is never-ending expense after generation. Your electric bill is still there. But you know, if you have the solar after the payment period, you are now 0. Plus the fact that your electric bill is 0. So what you get? 0. the question is, will you continue to make the utility company control your bill payment and accept rate increase, or install on your rooftop and start saving immediately? That's question number one. My question number two is, do you want to buy and own your own 100% clean green renewable energy, and or forever with the cost of electricity? That's question number one. Now, I am also doing commercial. What you need to do is give you this information here, just give the information and give it back to me, and then we can do any commercial. Mall, hotel, whatever, we can do it. Solar installed here. This is the actual scenario. This is increasing. This person is a Caucasian. There are so many agents that went there, but the owner was not happy, did not accept it. So me and my wife, including the agent, went there. I sued him personally, what I'm suing right now. And then my presentation, he told me how many panels can I fit my rooftop. So I told him, oh, can you show me your 12 months electric bill? I computed, then it showed that it was it's about 42 panels to be installed. So we installed 42 panels, worth about $53,000. 2 months after that, she called, the wife called my wife. Sylvia, I'm paying now $186 from between $500 to $700 a month. On the 3rd month after that, his wife called my wife again. Oh, now I'm paying $0. It's totally eliminated. So now, my wife, his wife called my wife again. Oh, we're surprised. There's a $14,000 added to our bank because the 30% was remitted directly to the bank account. And then they asked if we give referral. Yes, we do. $250 per house. So talk to my neighbor. We installed 24 panels on the neighbor. So they got $250 referral fee. So this is the way how we install solar. You see here the sample. This is the sample, the small version of the panel. Right there. This is what we call monocrystalline. See here, this is the tiles. And this is the sample that we installed solar in Dili City. It's a composite kind of rooftop. And every time we install solar, we put our signage in front of the house. Whoever calls me, I will ask them in return, where did you get my number? So if they tell you, if the person tells you that it's in the house of Robert, I give you $150 referral fee. And this is what the government say. Governor Brown calls for 50% goal of renewable energy an increase by 1/3 in 2020. Your uncle, President Barack Obama, promote clean energy and help ensure a cleaner and more stable environment for future generations. So everybody encouraged to have solar. Secretary Castro of the Department of Housing Development announced a number of actions to expand financing on multi-family housing. If you are a realtor, they encourage you to have solar on all kinds of development. Now, solar power in California is growing rapidly. 25% of the electricity will come from solar by this year, an increase of 33% by 2020. Now, Lancaster became the first US city to mandate inclusion of solar in their house, of about 1,000 kilowatt. As of 2014, there are about 2,800 people that's employed in solar industry. But there was an extension of the 2030, the 30% extension. They extended up to 2019, the 30% incentives. And then by 2020, it will lower back down to 26% and 22% by 2021. So talk to your client, to your neighbor, to your relatives that there is 30% going on. Otherwise, if it will expire, you get nothing. Now, here's the statistic. There are about 6.8 million single-family residents in California in 305 cities. Imagine that. And only 500 as solar. How many is your market? 6.3 million. You need to talk to your neighbor because there are about 6.3 million that we need to install solar. Huge market. The expansion of Solar USA is 1 year from now we'll be installing about 9,800 kilowatt, about $44.3 million worth of sales. ML, out of 44 million, how much you want? Now, 5 years from now, we'll be installing 140 worth about 647 million worth of sales. And we'll convert that into single-family residence. It's about 2,100 single-family residence in 1 year from now. That's about 0.033% of 6.8 million. Take a look at this. 30,000 in a year and 5 years from now, it's not even 0.5% of 6.3. Now, my question is, in how many years we can saturate the 6.3 million, maybe 20 years from now? That's why there is huge market when it comes to solar. It's better than reactive if you're a reactor. Now, so opportunity. I understand that you are all agents, so if you want to become an agent, you need to fill out the application, and then I will train you on your own client. If you have your own house, then probably that will serve as your training. Well, it's a hands-on training because it's easy to train when you have your own client. And then there is a promotion guideline. Solar consultant is 85%, 95%, but 200% regional manager. Now, solar consultant, if you have 3 trainees that you recruit and about 5 sales, your commission is 85%. If you have about 3 field manager and about 20 sales abilities, you now become regional manager. So the promotion is very easy. But I will sit down with you if you want that because the time is constrained. So now if you are a trainee, a balance of 20 panels that you sell, your commission is 1,050. Is that good money?
Good money.
Yes. Good. Now I promote you to become solar consultant. Now your commission become 1,004. Now every time you close a transaction, get her to get 3 referrals. For every referrals, give them $250. But you make about 1,004. And for every week, you did 3 sales every week. You are making 4,400. And in 1 month, you will be making 17,800. Bert, if you have that money, 17,000, are you planning to retire or get another wife? Get another wife, right?
Yeah.
I know, Roy. Now, if you are promoted to become a special supervisor, you're now making 18,900. If you are promoted to become field manager, you are making 19,000. But if you are a regional manager, you are making 21,000 in month income. Is that good money?
Good.
I know this will do this. So just thinking right now. Now, since we are in networking business, my system of commission is not really that networking style, but it just compensates you for bringing somebody here, about 5%. But the thing is, if you are a regional manager with 3 solar consultants doing 3 transactions each, your overhead is 262. 3 solar consultant doing 3 transactions each, you are making 9,450 in overhead. Is that good money?
Yes.
That's why you just exert your effort training this agent, and then you make 9,400. So on your next promotion guideline is field supervisor. It's small, 175, but 3 agents doing 3, that's 6,300. And then another one is field manager. You are making 3,000. In total, overall, 3 by 3, you are making 18,900. Is that good retirement money?
Yeah.
Yes. You can retire in the Philippines, right, with 18,900 a month income. Plus your own, you have the option of making $500,000 income. That's why you can, besides making that money, you have the privilege to go to Italy for free. Now next year probably we'll go Caribbean.
All right.
Now we go to the typical example. I'll just do this fast.
Do it within 2 minutes. Okay?
Not
Now here is the sample. So can everybody read it in the back?
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I get the 12 months electric bill. I write it down the kilowatt and then the amount. So it's about 7.05 kilowatt. So so the proposal is like this. So now I have to give them a proposal. Remember that 705 kilowatt. So we have a pricing here. We have a pricing here that if we give them 20 panels, that's 6.24. I'm sure we cannot eliminate the electric bill because this is lower. So we give them 20 panels with 7.28. Remember, their actual usage is 7.05. So we give them 7.28. I'm sure enough that their electric bill is eliminated. So we give them 20 panels, that is 35,308. Now, okay, here. So on the 20 panels, this is your commission between 1,400 to 2,300, depending on your level. So, like for example, in Mantika, I have this agent. We went there. Her commission is 1,907, just one client. Because
one panel?
20 panels.
Oh.
Now, so the pricing is 35,300. And then the monthly is how much? 347. Now we go to the website. I will show you the website where you can log in. I will give you my login. If you are an agent, so go to login. This is the last part, by the way. Okay, here's the login, and then the password is solar 1234. So now what I'm going to do is, every time you have your client, give me the address because I will find out if they are eligible. So Rosel, what is the address of your client? Can you give me the address of your client?
30 Han Street.
30?
Han, H-A-N-H.
In its street?
Han Street, SF 9414.
What?
San Francisco.
Why is it that's not showing? There. See? So now you will know right away the name of the person, the homeowners, the one at title. So they are Ignacio and Raquel. So you click the availability. So now they are eligible up to 100,000 worth of home improvement.
Wow.
So they are, and then you check the confidence. Now they are 90% eligible. So if you see this, get appointment right away. And then we both go there and tell them in advance to prepare the 12 months electric bill.
I already did that.
Now here, so we go to calculator. So we use the example that I have. Remember the 20 panels, how much is that? That's 30,000. Remember the pricing to the 35,308. So we put here 35,308, 35,308, and then the monthly is 347, 347.17, and then San Francisco, and this is solar, and then go to setting, and then check this one solar. So their 30% incentive is 10,592. So you apply that on the second year, and then go to calculation, and then go to schedule, go to monthly, and then click this one. Okay, here. Now here, take a look. Their monthly is 347 actual average, but their solar is 338. Did they save money or not?
Not yet.
Yeah, this one. When is this? The debate. Now, we eliminate the electric bill. This is the interest and stock deduction. If we add these two together minus this, their savings is $125. This is now your selling point. Oh, you saved $125. But if you apply on the second year, if you apply the 30% incentive, ups. Now, on the second year, they have their 30% incentive. They will get this through, in the form of refund. If they pay it back to the solar, their monthly, their balance will become 35 minus 10, will become 25,000. Their monthly is $252. Their actual is 347. Did they save money on the second year?
Yes.
Yes, that's the selling point that you can give them. And then their savings now is 202. Now take a look at this. Their solar payment is fixed, but remember, their electric bill is increasing by 6%. By 10 years from now, it will become 556. 15 years from now, it will become 784 because of the inflation of the PG&E increase. So 25 years from now, their electric bill is 1,004, but the solar payment is fixed, $252. So with this 90% or 100%, you can push the client. At the end of 25 years, the total that they pay to PG&E, the solar is 76,000. The total that they pay to PG&E is 228. You ask the client, would you want to install solar on your rooftop, pay 78, or you like PG&E and pay 228? That's the question that you need to ask. If you still if you don't want solar, then go for 228. So now, if you add this together with the interest tax deduction minus this, their saving is $168,000. At the end of 25 years, no more solar payment, no more electric bill. Is that good? You can sleep good because you don't worry. You can go anywhere you want.
Good. All right.
Any question?
Leader
So
as well.
what about the gas? That's the one that you have.
We don't include the gas. Only
So you only pay the gas to people.
yeah, you pay the gas. But what I suggest is convert your gas into electricity.
There you are.
Yeah.
How are you gonna do that with?
You have to talk to the electrical our installers electrical engineer, so he can convert it for you.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
Alright, alright.
Give Mr. Ed BANSAG a big hand. All right. We're getting to our closer here, and thank you so
We'll
much
be done pretty soon.
thank you for everything. At this time, I'd like to call Mr. JONAS ESTEVES.
No, the rest of the, Eddie, are you done with what you need to say for as a manager too? So that way we can finish up in less than 3 minutes?
Okay,
Where's Amy?
I'm very thankful that I'm part of the KFG. Because to tell you the truth, when I came to United States about 1989, I started as an insurance agent until now. So how many years experience? So I learned so much about insurance. I started to become an agent with A. Williams and WHG. So that's where I started. When I just started, I didn't kind of talk in front of people, but now I can talk too much because of my experience. So, so what we do is because of the system that we have right now on Unique Rider, it's very easy for us to recruit the planet anywhere you want to recruit by just sending them the link. You don't have to go there, and then your agent that you recruit, they don't have to come over to California to get in because everything is in the link. So it's very easy for you to make money through your recruit. You get an override. So we are unique because we are the only insurance broker that has that. With WMA, with other else, you don't have that. What you need to do is bring people into the meeting, and then somebody will do the training, and then they get you also train them. But with us, just go to the link and get trained. So that's the uniqueness that we have in our company. with our backing of Jonas here, our insurance dictionary expert. He can tell you from A to Z, from home to tomb. So,
I will be in a tomb.
yeah. So just bear with us because you will get it there and make money. That's the purpose of this. You will learn it because of our system. We don't have to create anything but just follow the system, and that's it I can say.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, the business is the system. We have the system, right? And we have the leadership here. And all we need to do is, to me, is you have to be excited. You have that passion. Remember, don't get intimidated. If people that you recruit, they say WFG now, you want to recruit them, something like that. I'll let you know that a senior marketing director in WFG, I recruited him. Jonas knows that. He's a senior marketing. I recruited him. Why did he join me? He already a senior marketing director. Because system. Okay, so don't get intimidated and but open your lips. Like pension plan, I like the pension plan. You know, all the people that, let's say, a chiropractor by himself, you can give that pension plan to a chiropractor, okay, or a salon or anything like that. But you will fail. The more you fail, the more you can be successful. Okay, so open up your mouth, and so that's all I got. Be focused. Thank you so much for you guys in San Diego. I'm excited, and I'll be going there one of these days. You know. And so I'd like to call out the next speaker, Mimi Wilson.
Say 3 minutes each for both of us.
Yes.
Well, I guess I just want to thank everyone for coming and taking this time. I know you're busy, you have choices on how to spend your Saturday. There's not too many of us, but with a few that came, I'm sure you're so excited and you're going to be talking about our wholesome or our opportunities. And we look forward to seeing you again in our next presentations.
Yes.
Thank you.
My wife knows it. Okay.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm kind of covered up what I want to cover, but anyway, thank you so much to everybody for being here. You know, I know SAED is busy, which makes the time to sit down, but by you being here, is really committed to the success. So I congratulate you. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
All right.
Guys, I cannot say much enough to say thank you for all of you guys being here, but I do have a quiz. So if you guys stay, and I'll give you guys some gifts, okay?
There you are.
So here it is. That's the first thing that we learned from, now let me ask you something. You guys can raise your hand. You can see who's raising hand. Okay, I'll kind of do this thing, okay? Now, what is UW stands for?
Unique Writers.
Rochelle? Unique Writers, okay? Did you say unique?
Unique Writer Academy. I know University.
Right. Now, Rochelle, come over here. I'm going to ask you a question, okay? Before I give this to you. All right? Rochelle, what is the use of Unique Writer for KFG?
It's the vehicle towards success and to make things easy for you as an Indian.
Okay.
And our tools to become successful.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Rochelle.
Amazing. Now, raise your hand again if you know the answer, okay?
Thank you.
Erik's Salazar, yeah, I forgot that. Almost to the point. He said Chinese and everything. Yeah. So Erik Salazar mentioned about something that he likes to do when it comes to selling, right? So can you give me one thing that you learned?
Value.
I'm not even done yet. Okay, now, since you started it, go finish it up.
Go ahead.
Give me what you can do for clients besides value. What do you sell on value? Okay, give me something that you learned from Erik besides value.
Yeah.
Yung guwapo.
Yung guapo.
Yung guapo.
Erik Salazar. Besides value, what does he in trying to do on sales? Anything else you learned from him?
Yeah, he's creative.
Creative. Okay. All right. That's good enough. Okay. Now, when it comes to now, raise your hand. Okay. What is the rate? Then everybody goes down yesterday. What is nationwide rate on their? Did you raise your hand? Okay, now come over here. Since you raise your hand and you say 6.77, tell me what is that and what product is that?
That is.
Should I take that back? What's the next thing? Life, health, and what's the other thing that we do? When we roll over, what is that called? Okay,
Yeah.
annuity. Okay, so that's a new heights fixed index annuity. And what is the program that they use? Not S&P. Starts with a J.
J.P. Morgan.
Mosaic. All right, thank you. You're learning. Okay,
Right.
congratulations for coming. Another one. Okay, another one on that. Now tell me something. Raise your hand right away. What's unique about nationwide when it comes to index universal life? Raise your hand. If you already have if you win something, don't raise your hand. What is unique about index universal life of national life? I mean nationwide. Anybody raise your hand?
They have a nursing home.
What is nursing home to them? Stand up. What is a nursing home to them? What do you call that?
Long-term care.
Long-term care.
I should give it to your husband.
Give it to him.
All right, now come in and I'll ask you. You know, Sinun really spent a lot of time here. Sinun, come over here, please. You know, I want to thank Sinun. Now, what happened here, you gave me a blank one.
I got a blank one.
Okay. So, Sinun, you know what? So, what's the uniqueness in all index universal life with the long-term care? Is that what? What is the difference from chronic and a long-term care?
Well, the long-term care, well, the unique about them, I learned today because it's kind of new product for me and
I just wanted to tell them because this is one of our leaders.
It's that I know they pay directly to the client, and what other things?
What did you learn about that guy? Anything that he done? Not Eric,
Not
but
Eric.
what's his name anyway?
Jesse
KNUDSON. So what did you learn?
Well, I learned about I know it's unique because the long-term care that they offer, it's, what I said, I forgot already.
Okay, you stay there until you're there. Remember the difference, guys. There's a lot of companies selling ABRs, Accelerated Benefit Rider, chronic, critical, and terminal. Okay? Some company is selling long-term care. Okay? The difference is one is a structured settlement. One, you can go in and out. Okay? So in and out of a long-term care, meaning to say it is not a structured settlement. You don't lose the value of your death benefit. Okay? So remember that. You understand that? Okay, good. All right, thank you, Sinan. Now another question. What are the two index universal life of American National? Raise your hands. What's the two? My wife's raising her hand. Okay. Anybody else besides my wife?
I think Universal Life and Universal Life Plus.
I don't think so.
Oh, no.
But there is a name if you can guess it.
Signature
Yeah.
Signature UL Plus.
Okay.
Signature.
Go ahead, Roy. Go ahead, Roy.
Yeah, it's a signature Plus. And then signature IUL.
Okay, since you do that, I'm going to give you another chance, okay?
Yeah.
Since you already win, but I want you to give a chance. Now, Mimi, since you answered before I got this, what is the difference, the real two difference of those two policies?
Oh, the other one has On your 11th year, you have 1% of
Add-on
Okay.
bonus.
add-on bonus.
Okay.
Enhance.
Enhanced bonus.
Okay, good. 11th year. That's what I was looking for. What's the second? It has to do with the earnings.
Oh, a cap. The
Correct.
cap is they have a cap.
All right.
7%.
Is it
Okay.
17?
Roy, did you give me blank?
6 something.
Okay. So I will show you guys. It is the cap. Okay. There's cap right there. Now,
100% participation.
there's another thing. So simple. You guys gotta raise your hand quickly. Okay. What's the name of the owner of American National?
Oh,
Moody.
No, not you. You already said that. Why did you say that? Now I gotta add
You have to
that. Raise your hand. No, say it. Now you already win, so you got it. Those people haven't
That's
win.
the first client. Then they
Okay.
insure it.
So one more. The one who won, don't raise your hand. The one who didn't win, you gotta raise your hand. Okay? Now that's including you guys. Okay? Now, can you tell me? All right. What's the famous, story of American National?
come on.
Bonnie and Clyde. They even have a museum up there.
I don't know about you. Okay?
Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and
I
Clyde.
don't know why it just stole my car.
Oh my God.
Okay, Bonnie and Clyde.
Hindi ba sabi kasi i-register mo?
Okay.
Baka mag-expert na sa'yo.
Okay, one more question before I go on and close this. One question. All right. This is very simple. Okay? Can you tell me the steps? My wife? Okay? Now those who haven't won yet, that means Rochelle, Rodelia, and you two. Can you tell me the steps? Okay? The steps that my wife says regarding KFG, regarding unique riders. Raise your hand.
BANSAG. Raise your hand, Ed.
What is our step when we're trying to recruit people?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Anybody? Going once? Delia, I know you know.
She just gave you the number.
Lambert, is it Lambert?
Send the link of
Delia.
Unique Rider.
Yeah, there you are.
You should
Set
say
up.
anybody can raise their hand now. Unique Rider.
Did you won already? Not yet. Come here.
That's it.
Come here. He said something, but I want him to continue.
Yeah.
Okay. Just turn around. So what did you learn from my wife? What's the best things about our KFG? What's the unique about us?
Send the link of Unique Riders. Anywhere. Yeah.
Okay, and then what happened to that link?
Follow up. And then follow it after.
You contracted, you sign up, and then you have access to what?
To the link. Access to the what's our sales.
Okay, and what? The training. What is the training called?
Academy.
There you go. It's UW campus. You know, that is the university.
All right.
Thank you so much. Anyway, I close this thing. Thank you so
Thank you,
much
sir.
for everything. Thank you for all the things that you committed. You know, we have over 60 people in this area, but you guys choose to be here, and that is something commitment. Okay? So we're grateful and thankful, and those people that are supposed to be here are not here. But I can reiterate to you guys, okay? To build your own business, you have to have commitment. You have to believe, okay? Because if you have a belief that you can do this thing in 2 years, like I always said, 2 years of building, that means to recruit people, doesn't matter, licensed or not licensed, because we have the system. Second thing you need to do is like drive them to that system and let the system work itself, okay? So that's one uniqueness about what we do is we do network marketing and production. If they just don't want to recruit, they can do what? They can have to be a agent, producer, okay? So another thing that, and we have a lot of webinar. So if you guys don't understand, let me just kind of get back before I go on. Roy and Eddie, Monday, very important leadership call because Ali Hasimen, Perfectus, you know, right, Rochelle? You know Ali, right? He wrote about the book Overtax. He's going to be a speaker on leadership. This coming Thursday, the July 30th, okay, we're going to have a special training in Pleasant Hill. And this is all about technical thing, okay? So I just want you guys to know, if you guys can make it there, that would be amazing. Another thing, July 6th, we're going to be in Oceanside with Sinun Luring Group. And of course, you guys are part of that, being already committed. They'll be there. So I'll be training that, and there will be extensive training on what we do in our system. The next one is July 23rd. And July 23rd will be in the Washington area. If you know anybody there, that'll be good. And then the next one is August 30th. I'll tell you specific about August 30th, August 20th, pretty soon. That will be in the New Jersey area. Okay, New Jersey, New York, and Maryland. They're all going to be there, and I'll be there. Okay? So for me is I'm helping you guys on your business. Okay? Believe me, this is not easy, but I made a commitment. And I made the commitment to each one of you guys because you're my business partners. Do you guys know we are business partners together? You're not working for me. You are my business partners. So I'll treat you guys with that. So I thank you, and I thank my business partner here, my co-owners, Eddie BANSAG, for Roy, and Agnes has happened to be sick, so he couldn't be here. And then Romisol, Mimi Cumming Wilsons, and of course the husband also is part of us. And then my wife, I'm thankful for her commitment. And I'm thankful for those people who brought food and those people that have put more time in this. And I thank Eddie for doing this and making it happen. And I'm grateful for Sinun and Nut for being here all the way. And of course, our family there for the being Alabanza's family in LA. We're grateful for them. And I hope one of this day you will see it. Because we're planning a big training. In fact, when I was there, I was talking to ANICO. I already talked to Mike Pasalia. I already talked to ERIK. I already talked to Nationwide. We're bringing in October, we're bringing a massive, that they will sponsor it, a massive training in here. And I'm thinking I will do this thing away from here in San Jose because you guys got too comfortable. So we need to get this thing done. They'll spend the money. So we're going to have all the insurance company be there that we affiliated to. Even the final expense like Mutual of Omaha, Life of the Southwest, they already promised they're going to be there. So we're going to have a big thing going on in October. We just need to sit down and figure it out from all a business owner when we're going to put it, where's the best things. It will be a 2 days event. Part of that will be sponsored by all of them. Okay? So I just want to let you know we need to grow by October. Our goal is 300, like Spartans 300 to grow 1,000. Okay? So thank you so much, and God bless KFG and your families, and good night.
5 o'clock!